Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hustlers, makers, and content creators, welcome to another Sunday night YouTuber Creator Hangout. My name is D. If you don't know that, welcome to the channel. Tonight I'm going to be answering your questions about YouTube, about content creation, about making content with your phone, making content with your tablet, or making content with your camera or your computers, whatever you want to talk about. I do have a pinned comment in the description and a link, or pinned comment in the chat and a link in the description. Tap on that, kindly fill out that information if you have a question. It's going to guarantee that I actually see your question, because if you're just typing it in the chat while I'm looking at the camera, I might not actually see your question. So first come, first serve on that. We'll be streaming for a while, and if you don't get your question in because you didn't put it in the form, I can't help you. So how's everybody doing? Hope you've had an awesome week. I see Heidi in here. How you doing? Nikki in here. How you doing? Nice to see you. Brick Advice. How you doing? Brayton's Vibes. How you doing? Gonna turn the music down a little bit. Sweeney Dunstan, how you doing? Congratulations on 15,000 subscribers, or as YouTube put it, 151,000 subscribers. That was pretty funny. How was your week, everybody? John Mill Tyler, how you doing? Nice to see you guys in here. Early birds coming in. I appreciate you guys showing up early. Looks like we have a couple questions coming in already, so I'm going to go ahead and hop right into these. Again, if you got a question, use the form that's pinned in the comment or in the description below. But before I do answer the first question here, I want to note that for those of you, and you might know this already, but those of you who have 500 subscribers now, you are going to have access to the community feed. They are rolling that out to everyone right now. If you have 500 subscribers, and if you just hit 500 subscribers and you don't have it yet, they say you wait 7 to 10 days and you should have that turned on. They're rolling that out to everybody really soon. So make sure you take advantage of that once they turn it on. It's a great way to get more engagement on your channel, which can help the likelihood that YouTube is going to suggest your videos to the people who are engaging with the posts that you put on your community feed. So good stuff. Okay, first, help if I didn't hit my mic. First question comes from Styled Snail, and their question is, I feel like I'm doing something wrong whenever I look at my impressions and it's very low, sometimes 2 per hour. Yep, that is pretty low. I'm wondering what the best practice is for mainly the amount of tags. Okay, so here's the thing about tags. We're going to tackle 2 things, and I'm going to tackle one of the first things about tags right now. I'm actually going to log into YouTube itself, and I'm going to show you what YouTube has to say about tags itself. So give me just 1 second here. I'm going to log in, and I'm going to scroll down to see a certain area here, and I want you to see exactly what YouTube says about tags. So I'm going to share my screen, and everybody has this inside of YouTube Studio. So once you log into any video, if you scroll down before you actually get to tags, right here, it says tags can be useful if your content in your video is commonly misspelled. Otherwise, tags play a minimal role in helping viewers find your video. This is directly from YouTube. Tags can be useful in your content in your video, or if your video is commonly misspelled. Otherwise, tags play a minimal role in helping videos or viewers find your video. Now, note, they didn't say it plays no roles, 0 role. It just says they have a minimal role. So I still use them, and I'm going to continue to use them until they no longer offer the service. But you have to understand that tags are not going to be the thing that moves the needle in terms of your video succeeding or failing on the platform, right? Tags are great for just helping, just give YouTube a little bit more information to help them clarify exactly what's going on with your channel, misspelled words, that sort of thing. So tags are not going to move the needle for you. In terms of the number of tags, they're, add tags that are relevant to the video. I like to add my title. I like to add a couple of keyword phrases that are relevant to the video. You only want to put things in that are relevant to the video because you don't want to confuse YouTube. You never want to confuse YouTube. So that's that question. You feel like I'm putting too many? Nope, there's no too many because it doesn't really matter. People online say to have somewhere 8 to 10 tags. There's no truth behind that whatsoever. And I don't know if I'm hurting my own performance by over tagging with reworded phrases. Well, here's the thing. As long as you are using relevant tags, let's say, for example, I have a video about how to edit video on an iPhone. The only tags that I want to use are tags that are relevant to editing video on an iPhone. I do not want to put tags in there that are not relevant, like MacBook Pro or Android or things that are not relevant. I want to put only what's relevant to that video. YouTube gives us X amount of tags. You're not penalized. There's no sweet spot for tags. Now, here's the thing. Don't confuse tags with hashtags. A hashtag looks like this. Hashtag, and I'm going to highlight that. A hashtag looks like this. And you can put you can put as many as you want in your description. It doesn't matter. But YouTube will take the first 3 that you put, and they're going to put them up underneath your video. What you do not want to do is load your description with hashtags. Again, if you are using hashtags, pick relevant hashtags, right? If I'm doing an iPhone editing video, I might put iPhone, hashtag iPhone, and I might put hashtag Nimmin, and I might put hashtag Nimminati because that's the community name. I'm not going to stuff this with a ton of tags or hashtags because that doesn't matter. Mr. Camera Junkie, what's going on, Luis? How you doing? In terms of 2 impressions, here's what's happening. Even though you're only getting 2 impressions, you have to understand what happens with those 2 impressions, right? YouTube is showing your video, you said 2 impressions per hour, to 2 people per hour. And then YouTube is taking notes on what happens to those 2 people that it shows your video to. If it shows it to 2 people and those 2 people don't click, then nothing's going to happen on your video because YouTube says nobody's interested, even those 2 people. But if those 2 people click and then they watch a good amount of your video, you're going to see your impressions go up. Maybe it goes from 2 to 10. Or maybe it goes from 10 to 100 or 100 to 1,000, but that's how that works. They might show it to 2 people or 5 people or 10 people, and then they start taking notes on how those people respond to your thumbnail and how they respond to your video. If it's negative, your video just slowly sinks to the bottom of the video sea, and if it's positive, it starts to rise, and then it starts to be shown to more people, so on and so forth. That's how that works. Christmas Clatter, how you doing, man? Nice to see you in here. Okay, for those of you who have a question, note that there is a pinned comment here in the chat, and I also have a link down in the description. I'm not looking in the chat right now. So if you are asking questions in the chat, I'm not looking at that because I'm looking at the camera. So use that form to guarantee that I actually see your question because that's where I'm pulling all the questions out of right now. Next question comes from Brick Advice, who says, I read that YouTubers who have at least 50 subscribers can mobile live stream through the YouTube app with limited features, and ones with 1,000 subscribers can mobile live stream through the YouTube app with more features. Does this mean that I can feel free to stop using StreamYard? If YouTube has rolled that out to 50 subscribers that are limited, that's news to me. That doesn't mean that it hasn't happened. I just haven't heard about it. If they have, and it could be limited to people that they're testing this with. YouTube often they often test features with tiny test groups, so they could be testing it with certain features. So here's the thing. I think using a third-party app is a superior way to stream unless you're just having technical problems, because you can put comments on the screen. You can put various things on the screen. You can lay things out differently. It doesn't matter if you're using StreamYard or Streamlabs or any of the streaming services that you're using an app for, Prism Live Studio. Those all have their strengths when you're using YouTube directly, which is fine if you're in a pinch, but it's just bare bones live streaming. So depending on what you want to do, if you don't need anything else, then that's fine. But I actually haven't heard of this 50 subscriber thing. It could be something that's being tested, and I'm not aware. If anyone knows differently, please speak up in the chat and let me know. Next question comes from AIC Productions, who asks, if I have 500 plus subscribers, how can I enable the community tab? I still don't have the option. Okay, that's a great question. Here's the thing. YouTube just started rolling out the community tab to people with 500 or more subscribers. They just started rolling that out on October 12th. So there's 2 things to keep in mind. 3 things. 1, you don't have to do anything. There's nothing to enable. YouTube will enable it for you. 2, you have to maintain 500 or above. I believe it's between 7 and 10 days. So if you just hit 500 subscribers like 3 days ago, you need to sustain that for, I believe it's 7 to 10 days. I think it's 7. I saw YouTube talking about this. I think it's 7 days. You have to sustain that. You can't go under the threshold. Number 3, considering they just started rolling that out a few days ago, sometimes when they're rolling out new features, it can actually take a while for those features to get rolled out to everyone. So maintain a minimum of 500 for 7 to 10 days and give YouTube enough time to roll that out to everyone, and they will activate it automatically. You're not going to have to do anything. Hold on here. Oh, so hey, Shelly, how you doing? So did they change the, hold on, I'm going through and catching up here. Shelly, did they change the new, here, hold on here. Yes, there are limits on audience size as well. Let me see what you're doing here. It's only for Android. Interesting. I didn't even know that. Pete Johns, what's going on, my man? Yeah, I didn't know that. So, yeah, so Shelly says they're testing something on Android. So, yeah, great question. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't hear anything about that. I guess I need to pay attention more. I haven't heard anything about them lowering subscriber counts for live streaming for mobile devices. That's good news, though. That's interesting, though, that they're testing that on 50 subscribers and only on Android. I would love to know what's going on with that. Tom Buck in the house, ladies and gentlemen, the king of dad jokes, and he has a pretty awesome YouTube channel as well. I just put in my to watch next video about your it's not the generator, the power conditioner thing. I saw the thumbnail. I was like, yes, I need to watch this. Looking forward to watching that one. All right, so Shelly just dropped here we go. We're going to pull this up. Thank you, Shelly. Let me go into my chat here. I'm going to see what Shelly linked to. So give me 1 second here. We're going to pull it up. We're going to see what this says. Oh, look at this. See, Dee's sleeping on this stuff. All right, let me share my screen. We're going to go into it right here. Shelly, I'm so glad you came in. Let's pull this up. Where's it go? Here it is. All right, I'm going to read through this for the first time as well. Okay, create a live stream on mobile. All right, so this is news to me as well. To live stream, you'll need, and by the way, just so you guys know here, we are looking at Android up here at the top. We'll toggle over to iPhone here in a moment. To live stream on a mobile, you'll need at least 50 subscribers, no live streaming restrictions within the last 90 days on your channel. You need to verify your channel, and the easiest way to do that is just go to youtube.com/verify. To enable live streaming, you may need to wait 24 hours before you start your first live stream, and you need an Android 5.0 device. Okay, so I'm reading that off of here right now. Shelly, I'm so glad you came in. If you have under 1,000 subscribers, okay, what are they doing here? To help make YouTube a safe community for everyone, we may limit the number of viewers on your, what? To help make YouTube a safe community for everyone, we may limit the number of viewers on your mobile live stream, and your archived live stream will be set to private by default. Okay, well, that's silly. And again, that is this part right here, which is what? Here we go. Why is my mobile live streams audience limited? To help aspiring creators while protecting the community, we've created safeguards to limit the spread of potentially harmful content. That's silly. Okay, what happens after I get 1,000 subscribers? After reaching 1,000 subscribers, it may take several weeks to remove the mobile live streaming audience limitation. If your subscriber count decreases during this time, it may take even longer. If your channel goes below 1,000 subscribers, you will have the same audience limitation as when your channel had less than 1,000 subscribers, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's really interesting, and I had no idea that they just changed for this. This is interesting. I'm kind of surprised that they're limiting the amount of views that come in. Okay, so here's the thing. If you have an Android and you're thinking I could just go live now within the YouTube app, don't do that. Don't keep using a third-party app. Keep using StreamYard or Prism Live Studio or Streamlabs or whatever app or service you've been using, because then you're not going to have any limitation to how many people can actually come into your live stream. This is YouTube saying that we're basically going to cap the number of people who can even come into your stream, and there's going to be no replay possibility. So just keep doing it the other way until they balance this out for everyone. This is kind of weird that they're doing it that way, because they do allow third-party services to live stream. So this is really weird. Let's go over to iPad and iPhone, see what they have. Yep, so iPad or iPhone, yeah, you still need 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, crazy. Wow, what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? I think that's silly. And by the way, Shelly, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you dropping that link. I learned something today. I didn't know. I didn't hear anything about that. So thank you. Doug says you can make it public afterwards. Okay, so they're saying that they will private it afterwards, and Doug's saying that you can come back and make it public afterwards. You know, per usual, the YouTube way, everything is just as clear as mud. The restrictions make no sense. Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I don't understand the whole protect the community. What does that mean? What does that mean? So I'm going to say this is just keep using whatever you're using. Like if you're going live with Prism Live Studio or StreamYard or Streamlabs or Switcher Studio, whatever you're using to go live, if it's working, I wouldn't even deal with this nonsense. Hey, Neil, what's happening, man? Chantel, how you doing? Nice to see you in here. Yeah, crazy. They're protecting themselves from that one time someone decides to live stream something horrible. Yeah, well, here's the thing with that. So YouTube is basically saying that 50 people are not a threat. 51 people suddenly is a threat. 50 people are not. Hey, listen, 50 people. That's a lot of people to come into a live stream. I've only got 58 people in the chat right now. There's 58 people in this room right now. I'm not saying that any of you are going to do anything horrible, but that's just kind of silly that they would do that. Anyway, it is what it is. YouTube's going to do what YouTube's going to do. I would say just to continue using whatever you're using to go live. Pete John says, that's a weird one. Reasoning, are people creating burner accounts and live streaming dangerous content? Yeah, I don't know. That's really weird. Now, Doug says it's also on iOS. The docs don't say iOS yet, but maybe they have not updated this yet. So if Doug says it's on iOS as well, it's on iOS as well. God, that's so weird. It's a sub number plus 25 subs, I believe. Yeah, I need to get up to speed on this stuff. I haven't been paying attention to that. That's a really dumb. I'm not gonna get into that. That's a silly YouTube thing. All right, moving on to the next question here. Next question comes from Jamil Tyler Official YouTube channel. How do I grow from 13? What do you mean, how do you grow from 13? Do you mean, how do you grow from 13 subscribers? Let me look at your channel here really quick. You have 13 subscribers and you're asking, how do you get past 13 subscribers? Okay, well, first of all, you've been uploading for 2 months and you've been able to build up 13 subscribers. So here's the thing. The best advice I can give you is because you're uploading kind of a hodgepodge of different content on your channel. There's no real direction. So my advice to you would be this at this particular point. Keep uploading. Keep having fun, enjoy the process of creating. And once you find that there's a particular type of video that starts to do a lot better on your channel than other types of videos, lean into that and start making those types of videos and stop doing the type of videos that don't bring you views, right? Lean into the thing that works, walk away from the thing that doesn't work. And then those 13, they're going to turn into 15, into 20, then to 50, then 100, so on and so forth. So just keep going. You've been doing this for 2 months. Man, you're just getting started. Welcome to YouTube. And it looks like I have a channel member. Fidel, my man.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Welcome, Fidel, man. Nice to have you on board. When this stream is over, I will post a link to the private Facebook group and the community feed for members only. So come over there and I answer your questions over there. Breaking news. Yes. I'm gonna wait for your video, Doug, on this, and then I'll watch your video, and then I'll have to make a video on it as well. That's just so crazy, super crazy. Pixelpia says, "Wow, I just checked, and I can go live from both Android and iPhone. This is funky."
Super chat.
Thank you, Pixelpia. I appreciate you. All right, Titastic, how you doing? Nice to see you. All right, next question here comes from Narfield. How you doing, Narfield? Nice to see you in here, man. The question is, oops, that won't stop. The question is, I've grown a decent amount doing tips and tricks for one game, but I can't seem to get people interested in gameplay, funny moments for that same game. Any suggestions? Yeah, I mean, you can't force it. You can't force it. You know, I would love to get a lot more people who have Apple content watching my videos. But when I upload Apple content, you know, iOS devices and that sort of thing, they generally don't do that well. I mean, get in where you fit in. So if you're finding that tips and tricks are working great on your channel, lean into tips and tricks. That's my advice. You know, if you're trying other types of content and it's not working, people aren't responding to that content for whatever reason, they're simply not responding to it. So this isn't something where you can, you know, put your viewers in a chokehold or a headlock and say, watch this type of video. It doesn't work that way. They're going to like what they're going to like. So they're loving the other stuff, so keep doing that other stuff. You know, occasionally, because your audience is going to change over time as new people find your channel, occasionally you can start throwing those bones out here and there. I wonder if people like it now. Change stuff up. I wonder if people like it now. Change it up a little bit. I wonder if people like it now. You might find that through editing, through trial and error, you might find a formula that works. But currently, they're not digging it.
Super chat.
Fidel, thank you, my man. I appreciate you. You've been helping so much. Joining is the least I can do. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you. All right, next question comes from Architectural Sheet Metal 101. Question is, does YouTube give any credit at all to external traffic? Yeah, I mean, it's a traffic source. I mean, it does mean I'm bringing in people from other platforms to their platform. There should be some sort of praise for that. So YouTube has a thing called session time. Right? So you are bringing people from other platforms and you're starting a session time on YouTube. Again, this isn't going to be one of those things that's going to move the needle, but it is. So I forget the exact number. I've heard YouTube say they look at something like 8 billion different metrics in terms of, you know, what people are looking at to figure out what to show people next, right? There's all these different metrics that YouTube are looking at. And collectively, they all add up. In terms of a channel owner, they have tons of metrics they're using as well to figure out how things perform there. But it's not one of those situations where YouTube says, okay, well, this creator is bringing in external traffic, so we're going to give his channel some extra love. It doesn't work that way. So each individual video lives on its own. It has its own authority as its own video, and your channel has its own authority as a channel. But in terms of like, if you're going to make a video, let's just say theoretically, because my channel is known to help mobile creators. So I know if I upload a video that's about editing video on your iPhone, it's going to do fairly well. If not immediately, then it will through search traffic, because that's where I get a lot of my traffic, because my channel has some authority on that. And I have a content library of content that's similar. So that makes it easy for YouTube to be able to match with the correct audience who's into my type of content, right? But that video is also a standalone video. If my hook isn't strong, the topic isn't good, the thumbnail is not good, if that video suffers in performance in any way, that video is not going to rise. It doesn't matter how much external traffic I bring it, a bad thumbnail and a bad video, or just a poorly chosen topic, it's not going to rise, right? It's gonna go where it's gonna go based on performance. Doesn't matter how much external traffic I throw at it. Next question comes from Cat's Eye Beauty. In terms of hashtags, I noticed on Morning Fame, my channel has been in SEO. Your channel name has been in SEO. Okay, should I continue to use my channel name in my hashtags? All right, so just to be clear, when you're talking about hashtags and not tags, we are literally talking about this. Hash, let me write it down. Make sure, am I writing it right? Hold on here. If I could spell it right, we're talking about this. Hashtag. Okay? We're talking about hashtag. Now, YouTube will show the top 3 hashtags up under the video. So I don't recommend just bombarding your description with hashtags. That's not really going to move the needle. But as your channel grows, you're going to find that people are looking for your channel name, right? When you're starting out, no, nobody's looking for you because nobody knows you exist. But as your channel starts to grow, as your brand starts to grow, people will start looking for you. If you find that you are using a hashtag of your name and that's ended up bringing some views into your channel, yeah, keep using it. I will often put Nimmin as a hashtag on my channel. I'll often use Nimminati as a hashtag because that's our community name. Nick uses the same thing sometimes. And I just think it's fun. Sometimes you can click on Nimminati and you can see my videos. You can see other videos that people are putting in hashtags for Nimminati. And that's just kind of a fun thing. In the old days, we called it a pound, right? Right? Those are the old days. Hey, Brendan, how you doing, man? Dee's beard is on point. This is, Yeah, this is how you know I'm like I've been in like bum mode. When I'm in bum mode, this is what happens. I just get so tired of shaving sometimes. Shaving's I need to hire someone just to shave me. A shaver. I need a shaver. If anyone wants to apply for the gig of being a shaver, let me know. I'll send you an application. Beard is on point. I appreciate that. Getting a lot of gray. Getting a lot of gray in here. It's been a rough year and a half. All right. Next question comes from Seismic Shock TV. Hold on, this is a big one. And I'm gonna hydrate. And I guess I should say, since this is a StreamYard Cup, that today's show is sponsored by StreamYard. That's what I'm using to live stream with. That's what I'm using to put the comments on the screen. This is the easiest way to get up and go live streaming. It is browser-based, so it works on your Android, your iPhone, your tablet, your desktop computer, PC, Mac. Works for everybody, and you can stream up to 20 hours per month for free. I got a link to them down in the description below. Fantastic, super easy to go live, and you don't have to worry about that 50 subscriber thing on Android and iPhone. That's really crazy. But you do need to verify your account. Go to youtube.com/verify. Wait about 24 hours and you can live stream. Okay, the question is, I have a Pokemon YouTube channel, and I'm wondering, in order not to confuse YouTube, do I need to specify what kind of Pokemon channel I am? Example, the type of Pokemon content: Pokemon card hunting, Pokemon card openings, Pokemon Go, Pokemon gaming, Pokemon investments, etc. That being said, I have 5,000 subs, average 1 to 4,000 views per video. And I recently had a video surpass 80,000 views. Congratulations. I currently do openings and hunts, but I've made other ones. Yeah. So here's the thing. As long as you are uploading videos with the correct titles, right? As long as you're like, hey, so if you're doing a Pokemon card opening, as long as that's your title, you know, you've got it in your description, you've got that in your title, YouTube knows what that's about. YouTube knows that your card opening video is not about Pokemon investment, unless it's about investment in cards, right? Or maybe you're talking about figurines or something. YouTube is actually pretty smart. So as long as you are not clickbaiting people with your titles or anything you write in the description or your thumbnails, as long as you're just telling YouTube what your video's about, you're not going to confuse YouTube. What would confuse YouTube is if you've got a whole channel based on Pokemon and then you started uploading videos about baseball cards, or you started uploading videos about some other sort of collectible. Then YouTube might go, okay, wait a minute, I thought this was a Pokemon channel. Not that it wouldn't work, but that's where the confusion could start to happen, because your audience is going to start getting confused. The audience is going to go, wait a minute, I signed up for Pokemon. I'm not interested in baseball. I'm not watching this. However, there will be another audience of people who do like baseball cards, and your audience is going to get mixed up, so on and so forth. But just coming in, Pokemon channel, I think you're going to be fine. By the way, for those of you who are joining us and you do have a question, have a look at the pinned comment there in the chat or down in the description. There's a link to a form that's going to pop up. You can drop your question in the form, and I'll be able to guarantee that I see your question there, because I don't look at questions in the chat right now. El Jefe is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, El Jefe, I just saw your merch today. I retweeted it. I don't know if I can get that sent to Mexico, but I'm going to look into it. I'd love the know your value shirt. If I can get that sent to Mexico, I'm going to see if I can get it sent down here. But also, I got StreamYard. What I wonder if I can live stream under 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, you can. So let me drop this in the chat. Hold on here. So when I talk about verification on YouTube, I don't mean the check mark. What I mean is, so YouTube has a verification process, and I'm dropping this into the chat right now, youtube.com/verify. What this means is you have to give them a phone number, and a robot's going to call you, or they're going to send you an SMS message. Like nobody, Carl from YouTube is not going to call you and say, hey, what's going on? None of that. It's all automated. They'll send you I always choose an SMS. They're going to send you an SMS with a code. You drop the code in there. It's going to verify your channel to make sure that you're a human, not some bot account. And then after 24 hours, you should have live streaming activated. Then you can use a third-party service like StreamYard, Streamlabs, Prism Live Studio, so on and so forth.
Super chat.
Seismic Shock TV, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you answering that question. A lot of my success is because of you and your brother. Appreciate what you do. I appreciate you too, man. Congratulations on that 80,000 view video. Brad Sarr, quit telling me what to do. That's just kind of the dumbest comment of the day. Congratulations for having the dumbest comment on YouTube today. Hey, Tommy, how you doing? Maybe the beard's confusing Google's AI, D. That's why they keep locking you out. Yeah, man, I'm in Gmail hell right now. Nice to see you, Tommy. I'll drop your questions in the form. All right, good man. Or good lady. I don't know what you're doing. I'm just playing with you. All right, let's see here. Carl from YouTube can be a real jerk sometimes. Yeah, Carl's a creep. For those of you who don't know Carl from YouTube, Carl can be a real creep. Pete Johns, keep telling me what to do. You don't have, yeah, flip that around. Congratulations on not having a sense of humor. You're new here, aren't you? You're new here. We all have a sense of humor here. Okay, the next question comes from Joe Aussie Guy, Global Traveler. Hey, D, I struggle with the reading of my analytics, understanding if my channel is doing well. What advice can you give me, Joel? Okay, that's a fantastic question. How many people, show of hands, just type in yes or no. How many people struggle with analytics on their channel, trying to figure out what analytics should you look at? How many people struggle with that? I struggle with that early on. Just type in yes or no. Night City News, how you doing? Nice to see you in here. So here's the thing, Joel. I'm looking at your channel right here. It's a travel channel. First of all, welcome to YouTube. Great to see that you're going here on YouTube, getting started. Whoa, I just closed your channel by accident. Give me just a second here. Let me get back to you. There you are. So you are traveling. So here's the thing. You're brand new. You get 11 subscribers. You're just getting anywhere between 3 and 20 views per video. So here's what I want you to focus on right now. Until you start getting a lot more data, right? Because you have a very limited data set right now. And until YouTube gets more data on your channel, analytics aren't so helpful right now in your stage. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to start thinking about content, not just a single video. Like I just need to upload a video. I want you to not think about that. I want you to think about what sort of an experience can I create for people who find my channel, for people who watch one video. Let's say, let me pick an example here. I'm going to pull you up as an example. Let me see. Aussie Guy. Okay, so let's see what you're doing here. Blue Pool Adventure, Blue Mountains National Park. Blue Pool Adventures, Blue Mountains. Okay, so just glancing here. Blue Pool Adventures, okay? Blue Pool Adventures, Blue Mountains, okay? Jelly Bean, Blue Pool Mountains National Park. So a lot of these, you're kind of using the same title over and over and over. And the titles don't tell me anything. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Forget about your analytics right now. Come back to me in a couple of months. We can talk about your analytics. Right now, I want you to think about how you can make content that helps the viewer out, that answers a specific question. So if YouTube just showed me Blue Pool Adventure, Blue Mountains National Park, that doesn't mean anything to me. Right? Is that in Australia? I don't know where that is. What about it? Are you swimming in it? Are you talking about, is it clean? Is it polluted? How do I get there? So think about this. Think about, with every video, helping the viewer understand what that video is about. So if you go to Blue Mountains National Park, you could have an entire video telling people how to get there. You could have another video, 5 must-see things at Blue Mountains National Park. Hold on, I have to sneeze. My apologies. That's weird, right? 5 must-see things at Blue Mountains, right? So think about titles that people go, oh yeah, I'm interested in that, right? Avoid these 3 things at Blue Mountain National Park. Right? So you have to give people a reason to want to watch that video. So what I want you to do is this. Think of, for every video that you want to make, start thinking of 2 or 3 videos in addition to that video that you can string them together to get people to watch one video, to watch another video, to watch another video. So if I watch the first video, how to get to Blue Mountains National Park, when that video ends, there's going to be an end screen on there that says 5 things you have, or 5 must-do things at Blue Mountains National Park. When that ends, 5 things to avoid at Blue Mountains National Park. Next, after that might be another video. Best lodging options for Blue Mountains National Park, or how to camp at Blue Mountains National Park, right? So what you're doing is you're giving people all of this information, and you're tying each video together, one video after the next. Put it in your end screen, use your card, use a pinned comment, use a link in your description. Tell people what that next video is. So think of these videos as a series, right? Topic, like here's an entire series of Blue Mountains National Park. Here's an entire series of Whitehaven beaches. Here's an entire series. And a series could be 2 videos, it could be 3 videos. It doesn't have to be this massive thing. Here's an entire series of Hamilton Island, and it answers specific questions. So that's what I want you to do, right? And if anybody's just getting started on YouTube, that's what you do right now, right? Don't worry about the analytics right now because you don't have enough data yet to dig into your analytics. Focus on getting people, getting people's attention, getting people to watch your video, and to get them to watch the next video. Think about making a series of videos. It could be 2 videos, whatever. Watch one video, get them to watch the next video. Think about crafting really good titles that answer really specific questions, or it's just something really compelling where people go, oh yeah, I'm interested in that. But if you're just like Blue Mountain National Park, that means nothing to no one. What about it? What about Blue Mountain National Park? Tell us, what is it about it? So that's what you want to do. All right, next question. Next question comes from Brighton Vibes. Question is, I get more views and subscribers. How do I get more subscribers? Yeah, welcome to the club. Most people will get more views and subscribers. Your conversion ratio, that varies widely from channel to channel, niche to niche. Here's what I want you to focus on. And I know everybody wants to get subscribers. You want access to certain features. You want to get into the partner program. You want to get the play button. I get it. I've been there, but here's what I want you to do. Focus on getting more views. Forget about subscribers. I know it's counterintuitive, but trust me on this one. Stop thinking about subscribers for the time being. Focus on, I'm getting views. How can I get more views in addition to the views that I'm already getting? You can do that by doing exactly what I just recommended for the traveling channel. Get people to watch one video and then get them to watch another video. Start thinking of your videos not as standalone videos, but as a series of videos. Try to make relevant videos that people want to watch next. I find your channel. You didn't link to your YouTube channel. You linked to a website. I'm not clicking on a website. You should have linked your YouTube channel. Otherwise, I could have pulled you up and looked at you. Right? So I have one video, how to do this or what to do here, whatever the title is. So when that's over, you recommend another video that's relevant, right? An obvious part 2 to that video. I click and I watch that one. Now you're getting more views. Now here's what happens. When you give viewers more of what they want, when you satisfy viewers, when people find you and they're satisfied with the content that you've provided them, they'll subscribe. When you master the art of getting more views, when you master the art of getting people to watch more videos, when you master the art of getting people to watch your videos longer, your subscribers are going to come. Everything falls into place when you learn how to give viewers what they're looking for. But if you're chasing subscribers first, you're putting the cart before the horse, right? Just think every single video, how can I provide as much value as possible to the viewer? Well, I don't even want to type your content, what content you're making, because you didn't. Okay, you said you're a gaming channel and you didn't link out. So I don't know if you're doing Watch Me Play. I don't know if you're teaching people how to play the game, but I say this to every single gamer almost on every live stream. Since you are a gaming channel, you have to find a way to stand out. You have to find a way to be different in the sea of gamers. That means you're either going to have to be really good at playing the game, like you're going to have to dominate the game, or you're going to have to teach people how to play the game or beat the game, or just share knowledge about the game in general, or you're going to have to just come up with something new, a new personality or something to bring to the table that people haven't seen before. But if all you're doing as a gaming channel is saying, watch me play the game, and you're not particularly good at playing the game, or you're not really that funny, or you're not really entertaining, that's going to be a real struggle for you to grow a gaming channel. So think about what you can do to be different, and think about how can you get people to watch, a couple of your videos, Think about how you can get people to just get more engaged in what it is that you're doing. And that's not going to come from being the same type of gaming channel that everybody else is doing. Everybody wants to play games. Everybody wants to play music. And those competitions or those types of channels are fierce, right? The music niches, the gaming niches, competition is fierce. You have to find a way to stand out. You have to. It doesn't mean you have to be Dr. Disrespect, but you have to find a way to stand out above or at least equal to some other people in your niche playing a game. Otherwise, you're lost in the sea of gamers. I am really slow. I'm really slow too. How you doing? The goal is to have the largest amount of unsubscribed views possible in my eyes. If your views are 100% subs, you have zero growth. Yeah, I mean, there's some truth in that. Like if the amount of people viewing your videos are 100% subscribers, that means your channel is not growing. So it's good to have unsubscribed viewers viewing your videos. Yeah, and gamers, look, I know it's tough. You guys, you know, it's tough. What you're doing is difficult, and competition is fierce. You have to find a way to stand out, be it through you educate people, or you dominate the game, or you've just got an amazing personality, or all of the above. You know, one of those things or all of those things, you have to find a way to stand out. There's no other way to go about it. Vegas Confessions Podcast. Okay, you had me at the title. Vegas Confessions Podcast. That sounds like a podcast that's a whole bunch of fun. Now, before I answer their question, for those of you who are joining us, I've got a pinned comment there in the chat, and the same link is in the description. Click on whichever one you want. It's the same thing. It's going to open up a form. It's going to guarantee that I actually see your question because I'm not reading them out of the chat right now. Okay, so this question here, it's a long one, so I'm going to hydrate again. Again, thank you, StreamYard, for sponsoring today's show. Take a drink out of your ginormous cup here. Hey, D, how do I set up a thumbnail for my live streams when using StreamYard to stream? Do I have to set it up beforehand like a scheduled YouTube stream and then go live from StreamYard? I was nervous last week and I streamed for the first time on StreamYard. Seriously, thanks in advance. I love what you're doing and been growing my channel. Started over 2,000 subs since the pandemic. All right, right on. Covering Las Vegas tips and tricks, recommendations with the help of you and Nick. Okay, I love it. Yeah, so what I do, anytime I'm going to go live, it might only be 15 minutes in advance or it could be an hour in advance. As soon as you click on the option to schedule your live stream, it's going to pop up the option to actually upload a thumbnail. So that's what you want to do. Yeah, hit schedule, upload your thumbnail, and you could schedule it, 5 minutes down the road or 5 hours, whatever you wanted to do. Okay, next question from Sion. How you doing, man? Would it be a recommendation to send multiple mobile devices to OBS Streamlabs OBS? I tested using Zoom and Reflector, and it sort of worked, but I was wondering if there are any recommendations. Okay, so if you're trying to send multiple devices, I'm guessing camera sources, I'm guessing. The best way I've found to send multiple mobile devices into OBS or Streamlabs OBS is through the adapters, right? So you've got your HDMI and you've got, or you could use like the A10 Mini, like whatever it is. The A10 Mini, you can use the Elgato Cam Links, whatever it is, run the cables to the devices. You're going to have to get the adapters. That's the most reliable way to do it, right? There's no lag that way. However, if you want to use something like Reflector, that works too. I found the most luck just using cables for everything. When you start running everything wirelessly, you do open yourself up to lag. You open yourself up to some issues, especially if you're trying to send multiple devices. But I think, what did I do? I think I've had 4 or 5 different devices connect into OBS before, and that was fine. If you're an iOS user and you've got like an iPad and a couple of iPhones, you can use Switcher Studio, and each iPhone will turn into a camera source, and then you could use your iPad for an additional camera source and control the entire stream, just like touching things. It's really convenient. Let's see, I'm going here. Hey, Justin, how you doing, man? Nice to see you in here. Hope you're doing well. Nice host. Nice guest. Thanks for coming by. Nick, nice to see you in here. D probably has an enormous container under his table to fill his big mug. Possibly. Do you want to see the enormous container? Shall we get out? Hey, John, how you doing, man? John Chapman, thanks for joining us. So here, excuse me while I whip this out. This is the enormous container right here. I usually have some sort of hydration thing. It's always water. Or, when I stream with Nick, it was actually usually Gatorade and water. But I think this is 4 liters. What is this? Yeah, so this is 4 liters. So I'll usually have like a 4 or 5 liter, sometimes a 6 liter, depending on the brand. And then I'll have like 1 and sometimes 2 cups that's sitting outside by each. So if I'm finished with one, I can just grab the other without actually having to pour anything unless I just run out of both of them. So it kind of depends on how long I think I'm going to stream. If I think, hey, if I know I want to stream for 2 or 3 hours, I'll fill up 2 or 3 cups and just kind of prepare. It was smaller than I thought. Yeah, I had a feeling that was a loaded comment. I don't know. That's pretty good. I don't know. Is my container big enough? Is this? Are you saying my container is not big enough? I don't know. It's as big as my head. It's as long as my head. That's all I'm going to say. Your walk, you didn't drink anything. Yeah, I was super dehydrated too. I didn't have anything to drink with me. If I would have planned that live stream, I would have brought something with me for sure, because the city that I'm in, it's elevated. We're semi-desert, so it gets really dry here. So if I don't stay hydrated, man, you hear it in my voice. Yours is a gallon. Yours should be 2. Yes, my brother is Nick. It's the perfect size. It's a good fit. That's all I'm going to say. It fits well. All right, let's see here. Moving backwards. I really need to try Switcher again. Seems impressive. Hey, John, man. Pete. I almost called you John. I know you had reached out to StreamYard. Did they ever get back to you? All right, let's see. Next question here comes from, did I answer this one? Yep, I did. Moving on. Next question is from Tomorrow's Sunshine. It says, Tomorrow's Sunshine is a new channel with few videos on sleep study, relaxed sounds, or just rain so far. Just a couple of tips for this type of channel. Thanks. Oh, it's Titastic. How you doing, man? Congratulations on the new channel. You see I need to hydrate there and I need to breathe. Study, relax, sleep. All right, so I'm going to pull your channel up here really quick. We're just going to do a quick Construction Cronies. What's going on, man? Mark, how you doing? Walter's World. D, you finally broke me, went on an actual short vacation, and finally decided to make some shorts for a new shorts channel. Yes. Film 20 in a day. Do you like inspiring this kind of insanity? Yeah, man, I do. Any sort of, insanity. Yes, you sign me up, man. Hey, listen, I'm real interested to see. Keeping tabs with me. Let me know how that's doing for you, because you've got a sizable YouTube channel. You know what you're doing. You understand what your audience wants. So I'm real curious how you're going to do your shorts. So keep me in the loop on that, man. Still waiting for them to get back to me. Yeah, they were purchased last year, as you know, by a different company. Since that's happened, sometimes communication can be kind of weird on that one. Stuck in the shorts world. So in terms of your travel shorts, Mark, I would take that same content, since you're making this short anyway, and I would put it on TikTok. I would put it on Triller. There's also Dub Smash and Byte. Where's my phone? I feel like I do this almost on every single live stream. I'm going to pull this back up again. So let me go full size. Hold on. I show this almost every live stream. And for those of you who are making YouTube shorts or short form content in general, here's some others. Oh, wait, one of them just changed the name. What in the heck? It's Clash. Did Byte change its name? Hold on. Huh, interesting. So I don't know what Clash, I think Byte changed its name to Clash. I'm not sure. So you've got Likey, Triller, and Dub Smash, disregard Clash. That must have just updated. I don't know what that is. So you've got those in addition to Instagram Reels, in addition to TikTok. You've got the video, put it up there. You never know where you're going to build an audience. Yes, byte changed to Clash. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. It updated and I didn't even catch the name change. Interesting. I will. I'm filming them and then things will get together and we'll track them. Yeah, man, just keep me in the loop. I appreciate that. Doug, I don't know how you stay up on all the information, man. Holy cow. D just uploaded 15 shorts of different apps today. You got me stuck too. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It just makes sense. Like if you are going down the road of short form content and you're like, I want to build a following. Like I'm trying to, get the gears turning and build momentum and build these platforms. I think it makes sense to go on these other platforms. Test it. I thought Dub Smash was a dance. I'm so old. There you go. Doug doesn't sleep. Doesn't matter what time I'm live, what time I'm awake. Like I can go on somebody's live stream in the morning and like he'll be in there. I can go on my live stream in the night and he'll be in there. I'm pretty sure Doug is immortal and he's a vampire. Dan Tana's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Yo, D, yes, man, we need to catch up whenever you're free. Yep, let me make a note right now because that project is wrapping up here really soon. Ready to go with that. So let me make a note. Hold on here. Get with Dan. Making a note right now, my man. Hang on. I'll get with you this week. Let me save this down. Give me just a second. Dan Tana. All right. Note made. Middle of US day. I'm sleeping. There you go. All right. Next question. Oh, yeah. We're looking at Titastic. Sorry, man. I completely got off. What are we doing here? There we go. Study, sleep, relax. Tomorrow's sunshine. I love the name. It just says positivity. I love it. Okay. What do we got? Videos. 4K 4-hour tea time rain on window pane. Okay. 4K 2-hour time. Tomorrow's Sunshine's channel intro. So here's what I would do. I think, I know you got 47 views on it, but in the grand scheme of things, once you start to get a handful of more videos up here and your channel starts to grow a little bit, I would just remove the intro because it's not necessary. The reason people are coming to your channel is because they want to listen to that relaxing, whatever it is that you're playing. I'm not going to press play because I don't know I don't know if I get copyright claims, whatever. They're coming there because they want to sleep, relax, study, whatever it is they're going to do. That's why they're coming there. And you obviously have like 2 hours and 4 hours. So I wouldn't disturb them with a, minute and a half video once you get a handful more videos up here. So I would say, I don't know if there's music playing. Hold on, I'm reading through this. Sleep and mindfulness. So is it rain? Yeah, I don't know if there's music playing here or exactly what you're doing. But what you want to do, like any other channel, once keep uploading and once you figure out something that's working, like, wow, this type of video it could be the rain. It could be when you're talking about study music or study sounds or whatever. Once you realize that this gets a lot more views than the other, just lean into that. And let me click over here. Hold on. Okay, you've got see, here you go. 4K 2-hour version. One thing that I would experiment with. Now, I listen to this sort of music, or I don't know if it's music or sound, but I listen to background music. I listen to background sounds. I listen to rain. I listen to ambient sounds, right? Sometimes I work and nothing too distracting. I just want to listen to rain sometimes, right? So when it comes to that, 4K does not appeal to me because 4K has to do with the quality of the video. So if you're trying to reach people who are interested in the audio of what you're doing, focus on the keywords to let them know this is a higher quality audio recording. Magic flying potato, what's going on, right? 4K is for the video quality, right? And if you're doing ambient sounds or ambient music or rain, that sort of thing, maybe you've got like binaural sounds. Binaural is where it goes around their head, right? 3D sounds, that sort of thing. Talk about words that are going to let them know that it's a high audio quality. Other than that, that's what I got for you, man. Congratulations. Good luck on the new channel. I'll have to check it out. I like that sort of content. Next question comes from Our Gameplay. Our Gameplay asks, what kind of gaming content can we make to have many views and subs? This is a great question, okay? And YouTube doesn't work that way. I can't tell you what type of game to play to get more views and subscribers. That's not how YouTube works, okay? You need to pick some sort of a topic. In your case, it's a game. You need to pick a game that you can make videos about. Hundreds of videos, right? You have to figure that out for yourself. I could tell you, go play Call of Duty. But what if you hate Call of Duty? You're not going to want to do it. You're going to burn out and you're going to hate making videos. So what you need to do is find a game that you want to make videos about. Don't worry about the views. Don't worry about the subscribers right now. Everybody's putting the cart before the horse, right? Find something that you enjoy doing. Make videos about that, because if you enjoy it, if you're good at it in terms of gamers, right? If you're really good at that game and you enjoy doing it, people are going to be like, wow, they're really good at the game and they really enjoy it. They're really fun and they want to hang out with you if you're live streaming, or they might leave comments. If you're teaching them how to play the game, you can teach them how to play the game because you're good at the game, right? You can teach them how to play the game, how to beat the game, how to win, go on the mission, so on and so forth, right? So focus on that stuff first. I can't tell you a game. All games can bring views. All games can bring in subscribers. It's how you make your videos that are going to make the difference between you getting views and you getting subscribers and you building up a YouTube channel and you building a community around your channel. That's on you. Has nothing to do with the game, right? I could start a channel playing old school Donkey Kong, like Nintendo old school Donkey Kong, right? That's an old retro game. And like that would be my game. And I would play the hell out of that game. And I would build a community of people who are into old school Donkey Kong. And maybe those people are also into old school Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man, or maybe they're into Contra. Maybe they're into Legend of Zelda. Maybe they're into any of those old school Nintendo games, right? Or go back even further, Defender, or right? Any of those, Cubert, whatever. There's so many games that, old school games, maybe I would have built an entire channel around retro games. And then it doesn't pigeonhole me or paint me in the corner of one particular game. So think of it like that. Think about, what do I really like to play with the game? What do I like to do? Maybe you play games that are just first-person shooter games, and you build an entire channel based on first-person shooter games. And then you don't have to worry about what game do I play, right? It's about you. It's about you. There's a million gamers playing whatever game you want to make, but nobody's doing it the way you do it. So you have to figure out how to get you as a creator into the game that you want to play. That's how you stand out. Christina, small horse. Christina, my apologies. I don't know what. I was reading Frogger and Smallhorn at the same time, and horse just came out. So from this day forward, you're going to be known as Christina Smallhorse. Or just Christina Pony, I guess. We could just go that way. Frogger, yes. Go Frogger, go. Do you remember that? Go Frogger, go. Gotta keep on pushing to. Remember that? I'm gonna get a copyright claim, but yeah, remember that song? Centipede and old school arcade games. Yeah, that was our era. I know, Christina, we're about the same age. We grew up Pong. We grew up in the era of going to arcade games back in the day. I love it. Pop Fun to Play. How you going? Pac-Man. Christina Smallhorse. That's your name. That's it. Christina Smallhorse. It sounds like you're like a Native American. Christina Smallhorse, how you doing? We'll be having our peyote trip together later. Okay, Tytastic says, got it, drop the 4K, concentrate on quality sound, focus on what works, my hard disk space will be happy. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying don't upload 4K footage. I'm just saying that, targeting 4K video quality when you're pushing an audio channel, I would focus on audio keywords. You have to find out, right? This is your job now. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, you have to find out what your viewers want to see. Are they there for the 4K video? Is that why they're there? Are they there for 4 hours of visual? Or are they there for the audio, to where they can put on the audio and listen to rain for 4 hours while they do something else, or while they can fall asleep? So you have to figure out why they're there in the channel, and then choose the right words to use for that, or choose whatever words match your video and just go in that direction. And then the right people will find you. Native American names. That's right. Christina Smallhorse. Mini Horse Christina. There you go. I love your profile picture, by the way. Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that, man. Right on. Space Invaders for Life. Oh, that's old school. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, next question. Next question comes from Primetime 210. YouTube just awarded my channel the community tab last Friday. I love it. Congratulations. Am I sharing my screen? Hold on. What am I doing? Nope. Give me a second. Okay, so you just got the community tab. Congratulations. I am being responsible and having a blast connecting with my community and hopefully people that are not in the community tab or in the community yet. My question is, how many times per day do you recommend me posting on the community tab? Okay, so you only have so many notifications that are going to go out per day on your channel, and you never want to fatigue your audience. Imagine if I uploaded 5 times a day. You'd be like, D, listen, love what you're doing. I don't want notifications on that stuff. I don't want to see it. That's just way too much content. And you're making your viewers choose between how they're going to engage with your channel. So here's what I recommend you do. I wouldn't upload more than once on your community tab, and I wouldn't use your community tab on the same day that you actually publish a video unless it's to promote that video, right? So we were talking about this in the member stream a little bit earlier tonight. So let's say, because you can look at your audience to see where they're at in the world. Let's say the majority of your audience is in North America, but you also have an audience, a sizable audience in India and Bangladesh and Southeast Asia and all of that. So what you can do is you would publish your video for morning time for North America, so they have all day to watch the video, but maybe you use your community feed tab to also link out to the video to target people who are just waking up in Asia, right? So you could say something like, hey, for all of you who are joining, let's say you have a huge audience in India. So you could address them personally. Hey, namaste for everyone who's joining from India. I just published a new video today. Good morning. I hope you enjoy my video. So you publish the video for the morning crowd in North America, use the community feed to publish the video again, so to speak, for your second largest audience. So that's one way you could use that. But I wouldn't, it's easy to go nuts on it. You don't want to go nuts on it. You don't want to fatigue your viewers to the point where it's just like, okay, this is just too much. I'm going to tune out. Just thoughtfully post once a day. And by the way, polls are probably the best way to get engagement on a community feed. It's easy to run a poll and people don't have to think too much. They can just answer with one thing or another. All right, next question here is from Pandian Official. How to reach more audience organically? The subscriber numbers are decreasing every day. What are you doing here? Let's see what type of content you're making. So the best way to do things organically is just upload content. Keep uploading content. Hold on. I'm looking at your channel here. You are well, let's see. I'm going to pull you up here. Give me 1 second. Looks like I missed a super chat.
Super chat.
Thank you so much. Make it make. Appreciate the super chat. Any advice on my channel will be helpful. Am I doing the right things? Also, I cannot find the channel in search. Okay, I'm not getting into channel reviews today, but I'll be happy to actually pull your channel up, and I'll just have a look here. Give me 1 second because I want to pull up this and just have a look at Pandian Official. Okay. Pandian Official, I know you didn't ask for an actual review, so I'm just going to do a crash course kind of thing on your channel right here. Okay. You need channel art. I'm on YouTube. I know I'm on YouTube. This means absolutely nothing to nobody. So what you're doing right there is just wasting space. What you need to do, if you can't do it yourself, which is fine, a lot of people cannot, you can use something like canva.com. You can use placeit.net. You can hire someone on Fiverr, or just do it yourself. You can make channel art. I actually have videos on how to do this using apps. You want to put some sort of channel art together. It doesn't have to be fancy. You just need to have something on there that tells the viewer what your channel is about. Tell the viewer what your channel is about. So Christina, small horse. So if I go to Christina's channel here for a second. All right, so this is what a channel art looks like. Now hers looks really good. She spent a lot of time on it. You don't have to have something this eye-catching, but the important thing is she tells people what her channel is about. Her channel is real estate for everyone. Real estate for everyone. That is what Christina's channel is about. Her value proposition is this. Her value proposition tells the viewer what her channel is about, why the viewer should care about her channel, what's in it for the viewer. So step one for you is to do that. You've already got 13,000 subscribers. Now, assuming that those are organic and you didn't pay for those, you didn't do sub for sub. See, I'm not even sure what you're doing on your channel here. So hang on. I got to look at your channel. Okay. The first thing you need to do. First thing you need to do is choose a language. Choose a language. I'm not sure if this is Hindi. I'm not sure if this is Hindi. Apologies if it's not. So you're using another language here in your title. Let's see. Bangalore, okay. So pick a language. Excuse me, I need to hydrate again. Now, if you're putting, and I'm not going to press play, but if you're titling everything in English and I click on these and you're speaking Hindi, you're confusing YouTube here. So pick a language. If you are speaking in English, titles, description, tags, everything goes in English. If you are speaking in another language, whatever language that may be, that's what your titles go in, that's what your description is in, so on and so forth. Don't mix languages. In terms of organic reach, I mean, number one, just don't buy subscribers. Don't do sub for sub. You grow by coming up with topics, right? You need topics that people are interested in, and you need to be able to learn how to craft a title where people can actually find you, or it compels them to click, right? And the same with a thumbnail. So when I'm looking at your titles here, I'm looking at your titles, and a lot of these I don't understand what these are. Hold on. Bangalore Road Travels. Looks like you're a little bit of vlogging. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Get your channel art together. Pick a language, right? So that's two things. Pick a language, get your channel art together. If you are doing sub for sub, if you're buying subscribers, I want you to stop doing that immediately. You're actually doing more harm than you are good. I know everybody wants a subscriber count, but if you're doing sub for sub, or if you're purchasing subscribers, you're actually going to hurt your channel in the long run. Then I want you to think about what direction you want to go with your channel, because it looks like you've got music on here, you've got travel vlogs, travel with me, that sort of thing. I want you to think about what direction you want to go in with your channel. Do you want to be a travel channel? Do you want to be a music channel? What do you want to be with your channel? If you're a travel channel, that's fine. You need to, hey, Little Crafty Nook, thank you so much for a super chat.
Super chat.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much, as always. I want you to think about, let's say you're doing a travel channel. What can you do as a travel channel? What topics can you cover as a travel channel to make it interesting for the viewer? Now, again, I don't know exactly what's going on here with your channel, because you've got a mix. Oop, did I just lose your channel? Oh, there it is. So it looks like you're visiting a temple. And here's some things I'm just going to kind of give you a short thing on here. So travel with Pandian. That doesn't mean anything to anyone. Okay. So Palami temple visit. Okay. So you've got that, but instead of Palami, I know I'm saying this incorrectly. I'm going to try to get it right. Palamalai temple visit. What about it? Are you teaching people how to go there? Right? So think, if you are choosing travel, think about writing your titles in a way that are going to be interesting to people, right? What are 5 things what are 5 things I should see if I go to this temple? What are 5 things I should avoid if I go to this temple? How do I get to this temple? Right? How to get to Palamalai temple? right? Teach people about what's going on. What should I see? What should I not see? Are there any scams there? What are they, right? Start writing your titles in a way that's going to be interesting to people instead of titles that are interesting to you, right? You're writing these titles because you're thinking that these are interesting. They're interesting to you, but as someone who doesn't understand, I have no interest in clicking on any of these because they don't speak to me. So you got to figure out what people are looking at. So let's just say, and I have no idea what's going on here. So P-A-A-L-A-M-A. How do you spell this? M-A-L-I. Palami template. Okay, so it looks like people are going here. Palami template, combator, Palami elephant attack. Holy cow. Temperamateur. What's that? Okay, so it looks like drone views. Hold on here. So it looks like people are making content about this particular topic. Foothills drone views. Maybe you could do the, Palamale temple walk around, or walk with me through Palamale temple, right? Give people some reason to want to be involved with what it is that you're doing. So that's my advice for you. I know you didn't ask for all of that, but you have to think about it from a viewer's perspective. You need to write your titles and choose your topics based on what a viewer wants, right? When you learn how to make videos for the viewer, you're going to find that everything starts to change on your channel. So figure out what direction you want to go in, and then start making videos in that direction. If you're doing travel and you're showing people around, that's great, but you just have to choose the right topics and write your titles in a way that are interesting to the viewer instead of, hey, I'm going to the temple, come with me. Like, I don't care that you're going to the temple, but what if you're doing like a cinematic walkthrough through the temple? Oh, that sounds interesting. Or what? And again, I don't know. Give me 1 second here. I want to make sure I'm even talking about the right country here. Where are we at? So you are in, where is this at here? Give me 1 second. Palamalai Temple. Where are you at? Give me 1 second. Tamil, okay. Interesting. Okay, so think about taking people on an adventure. Think about teaching them how to get there. How, are there food stalls out front? What are, craft your title in a way that makes people compelled to click, right? I'm looking for where this is. My apologies if this is not in India. But if this is in India, let's say this is a very sacred temple. Right? I don't know if it is. I don't know if it isn't. It might not even be in India. But let's say that it is. Walk with me through India's most sacred temple, or walk with me through one of India's most sacred temple. Right? Like, oh, that sounds interesting. Right? Woo, one of the most sacred temples. I'm interested in that. Right? So think about it that way. You need to sell it a little bit. Give a viewer a reason to want to click on that. What died? Everything died. Yeah, and again, my apologies. I don't know where you're at. I don't know what language that is. You get the idea. All right, moving backwards here. Hold on here. It's Tamil. Okay, you're in Tamil. Okay, yeah. So you could sell that, right? Let people know where you're at. Let people know that this is one of the most. If it is, let them know it's one of the most sacred temples there. Right? You're an insider teaching people about your country. And again, I don't know if you're speaking the local language in the video, right? Like, I don't know who you're trying to reach. And you have to think about that too. Are you trying to reach foreigners who want to come to your country? If so, you have to teach them everything about your country, starting with how to navigate through the airport, how to deal with taxis, scams to avoid, how to exchange money. What does your money look like? Do you need any vaccines to go to your country? What are the best foods? What are the worst foods, right? Like, if you're trying to make content for foreigners, you have to think about those topics and make those topics and write your titles in a certain way. If you're writing them for other people in your country, then you need to title things a certain way and focus on certain topics to appeal to your fellow countrymen, right? So think that through.
Super chat.
Carter P. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, moving backwards here. I need to pull someone's channel up, and I'm going backwards. Make it make. I missed this one.
Super chat.
Oh, no, that's the one. All right, let me find you. Let me find you here. Make it make. Make it make. Let me go to channels. Let me find you. Give me just a second here, and then I'll get you pulled up, and we can see what we can do. Make it make. Ooh, I'm having trouble finding you. Give me 1 second here. Make it make. If this is the name of your channel, make it make. Why can't I find you? Hey, Doug, can you please go on a mission to try to find her channel and then drop a link in the chat for me so I can try to find it? Because as I'm looking right here, I'm either overlooking it as I'm scrolling. I could be overlooking it, but it looks like I don't see it. So Doug, or if any of the moderators can go on a mission and help me find her channel so I can get her pulled up there. All right, let me see. Next question here. Okay, I got that one. Next question is from David Gaming. He says, how can I build a community on YouTube if there's no one watching my videos? Well, first and foremost, you have to first figure out the problem of why no one is watching your videos in the first place. And I'm just going to take a glance at your channel here. David Gaming, Minecraft farm tutorials and more. Okay, so what I want you to do, you're getting some views. So you're playing Minecraft. Everyone and their brother and their mother and their sister's cousin is playing Minecraft, and that's perfectly fine. You can still wedge your way in there, but you're going to have to get really creative with why people should watch your channel. Now, you say no one's watching, but I see some videos here that have 500 views, 400 views, 43 views, 33 views, 12 views. You're all over the place. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to, 5 months ago, 569 views, 400 views. I want you to keep experimenting because you've only been doing this for a certain amount of time. How long has it been? You've been on YouTube for 6 months, and you're not building momentum yet because you're playing Minecraft. You're new. You don't know how to choose the right topics yet, so on and so forth. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to move forward, continuing to play the game. Try to get better, learn better thumbnails. Go subscribe to Sweeney Dunstan YT. Sweeney Dunstan YT has a channel where he teaches Minecraft players how to grow. It's Sweeney, if you're still in here, brother, you can go ahead and list your channel out here, right? So right now, I want you to just focus on getting more people to watch your videos. Naturally, what's going to happen over time, you're going to start to see the same people coming back, the same people starting to leave comments. Go live. You don't have to go live for a long period of time, but I don't want you to think of building a community as like, oh, I need hundreds of people. Man, if you can get 2 people to show up to a live stream on a regular basis, that's the beginning of a community, right? So go live, focus on the 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 people who show up. That's your community. Don't think about, oh, there's only 3 people or there's only 5 people or there's only 10 people. No, that's the wrong way to look at it. These are 2, 3, 5, 50, 500 people who are interested in what you're doing. That's your community. Start engaging with them. Go live. You let them get to know you, warts and all. Have fun with it. Let them get to know your personality. Like just over time, you've been doing this for just a few months. It takes a while to cultivate a community. It takes a while for people to get to know you, but just keep uploading, keep learning. You're going to get there. There it is. Sweeney Dunstan doing great Minecraft content. Lilycraft, you didn't ask for the music, but here you go.
Super chat.
Thank you so much, Lilycraft. I haven't been just automatically adding the music tonight. All right. Doug, are you able to find, there it is. Are you able to find Make and Make? Are you able to find that channel? I'm still looking for it. Make it Make. Make it. If anyone can help me with Make It Make's channel, I am not able to find her channel. Make it make. I'm finding lots of make it something, but I can't find anything with make it make. Let me try with no spaces here. Give me a second. Make it make. I can't find it here either. Channel. Hold on. I'm looking for your channel. Oh, I found it. Never mind, Doug. I found it. So the problem was I was looking with spaces between the words. Okay. Posted. Doug, I appreciate you so much, and I completely overlooked it. I was looking at her. I was looking for the channel and not seeing what was going on here in the chat. Okay, so her question was. Let me go back here and see. I'm trying to get caught up. Any advice on my channel would be helpful. Am I doing the right things? Okay, so let's get you pulled up here and see what's going on. Make it make. Any advice on your channel? Okay. Make it make. All right, so here we go. And I'm just starting at the top, and I'm just going to go down. So at a glance, so I'm going. You were in here before when I was talking about your channel art, right? And I showed Christina Smallhorn's channel art where she told people what was going on the channel, what her channel was about. So I recommend the exact same thing for you. It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to spend a ton of money to do it, but you should have something up here, bold text, easy to read, letting people know what your channel is about, right? You call that a value proposition. It's like a mission statement. Because if I just land on your channel, I'm like, what's your channel about? And then I have to go through and try to figure out what your channel is about. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm just go to your videos page, right? Because I'm not 100% sure. Canning sauerkraut. Okay, cute baby bunnies. Okay, so here's, again, if you told me what your channel was about in your channel art, I could actually help fine tune the advice a little bit better because I know the direction of your channel. Think of your channel value proposition as your North Star, right? So if you're telling people, let's just say theoretically, because I see you holding up jars, if you're teaching people all about canning and easy recipes, for example, right? All about canning and food preparation and easy recipes, whatever it is, then I would know that that's what your channel is about. Assuming that your channel is mostly about that, and I could be wrong because you didn't tell me, but here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a video about canning, grocery haul, food, lots of food, right? So I see all these food videos, which I'm like, okay, you're about like food and canning. Then I see bunnies, chicken coop, how to breed rabbits. So are you a homesteader? Are you homesteading? Is that what you're doing? You can go ahead and tell me in the chat what you're doing. I'll come back and look for it here in a second. So it looks like you're doing a little bit of homesteading. I see a mixture of things here. You survived the storm. So I'm actually going to come over to the chat. I'm going to see if you tell me what you're doing. So hold on. I need to go backwards here. You're homesteading. Okay. So now that we know that you're homesteading, tell me this. What are you doing? What's your goal with the channel? Because you asked me, am I doing the right things? So in order to tell you if you're doing the right things, I need to know what your goal is of the channel, and I need to know what you're trying to accomplish here, okay? Food. Right? So you're doing homesteading. What about homesteading? Are you making videos teaching people how they can become homesteaders? Or are you making videos documenting the process of you and your family on a homestead? Because these are two totally different content strategies based on the type of content that you're making. Wait, are there pretty preppers homesteaders? Both. Okay, so what I would do, because these are two totally different people, right? So, I'm not a homesteader, but I am somewhat interested in homesteading. I'm interested in how people are, building their own self-sufficient properties and their lands and all this stuff. I have no intention of actually doing that, but I'm interested in it. So what I would recommend you do is think about which side of that you think you're going to lean more into. Do you want to lean more into documenting your life on a homestead, or do you want to lean more into teaching people how to homestead? I would recommend you pick one of those and lean into that more. I think there's going to be more growth and more opportunity for you if you teach people how to live the life that you're living, right? Especially right now. Right now, record jobs lost. Economies are in ruin all around the world. So many people are, they're getting into, they're quitting their jobs. They're buying pieces of land. They're getting into homesteading. I think there's an enormous opportunity right now. Homestead community is amazing. Yes, absolutely. So what I think there's a lot of opportunity in teaching people how to do what it is that you're doing. Now, your channel, you do whatever you want. But let's say, and I'm just going to help you with this just a little bit. Give me a second here. Where did your channel go? There you are. Okay. Now, I don't know, looking at your video here, right? Looking at your titles, canning sauerkraut. Now, you asked me if you're doing things right. Well, you're uploading consistently, so you're doing the right things. You're putting yourself in the thumbnails. You've got a great smile. You're putting the products, the canned, the finished items up there. So I think you're doing that right. You'll learn over time how to craft thumbnails that are, going to work. But where you need help is your direction, right? What audience do you want to lean more into? Again, I think opportunity is teaching people, but let's focus on this video, canning sauerkraut. As that is, that says nothing to me. I don't know if you want me to watch you can sauerkraut. I don't know if you're giving me tips on how to can sauerkraut, or if this is a step-by-step tutorial on how to can sauerkraut. I don't know what this is. So what I want you to do is be very intentional with every video that you make. If you are teaching someone how to do something, craft your title in a way where a viewer might search for that, right? Easiest way to can sauerkraut. How to can sauerkraut, easiest way. Something like that, right? So when I see that title, I go, oh, she's teaching me how to can sauerkraut. This is the easiest way. I'm interested in that. But if you just say canning sauerkraut, I don't know what that means. That means nothing to me, right? You could be doing both. So think about that with all of your videos. Now, if it's something where you're just documenting, see, you kind of do this over here. Let me back up. Easy taco soup crock pot recipes. See, you kind of did that there, right? And look at the difference. You got 125 views on that one, right? But you could tweak that a little bit more. Make the easiest taco soup crock pot recipe, homemade crock pot recipe, right? Get some more details in there. Make it a little bit more compelling to where people go, oh, the easiest taco soup, or the fastest taco soup, or the easiest, most delicious taco soup crock pot recipe, right? Sell it a little bit more. Homemade kombucha homemade kombucha relaxing video. Are you teaching people how to make kombucha tea? If so, how to make amazing homemade kombucha tea, right? You're using keyword phrases that people are actually looking for. Now, if you're going to do something where it's just like you're documenting your life, there you can have a little bit of leeway on that. It's kind of hard to get people to get involved with a vlog type video. But my strategy would be this to you. Since you're doing homesteading, self-publishing with Dale, what's going on, my man? Oh, Hefe, you got it, exactly. Give people a reason to click, 100%, man. And Justin Brown in the house, there you go. Sauerkraut recipe, 50,000 searches per month. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So my strategy would be this, and Justin again, how to make sauerkraut, 22,000 searches a month. Okay, so here we go, right? So it's how you look. Sauerkraut recipe, right? The best sauerkraut recipe, right? So that you got to look at the phrases. You got to look at the phrases on this, right? The best sauerkraut recipe, 50,000 a month. Justin Brown, how you doing, my man? How you doing? So my strategy would be this. My strategy would be, since you want to do both, I would lean more into teaching people how to homestead. Instead of your video that just says chicken coop, right? How to build a chicken coop. But, out of what? How to build a chicken coop out of pallets, out of wood pallets. Budget, how to build a budget chicken coop, right? There's lots of different ways you can go with this, right? You can go and you can go to the drop-down menu here, right? These are all search queries. So build a chicken coop, right? So you've got chicken coop tour. Well, what if you taught people how to do this, right? So build a chicken coop easy. Like people are looking for these. Build a chicken coop from pallets. Build a chicken coop door. How to build a chicken coop feeder. How to build a chicken coop wire fence, right? So use YouTube search up there. Use that query to figure out what people are looking for. Make videos teaching them how to be homesteaders. And then in between that, pepper in your vlogs where you document what your family is doing. So let's say you're going to repair your chicken coop and you just want to like turn on your phone and just document the thing. You can do that, but craft it around a title like how to repair chicken coop fencing, right? That's the part, or how to repair a chicken coop door. So you can do your vlog, but how you package it is going to make the difference on how people find that piece of content. Yeah, everyone needs to check out Justin. How you doing, Justin? How you doing in Australia? So yeah, I hope that answers your question. You're off to the right start. The homesteading community, you guys are just taking over YouTube. I think van life and homesteaders are taking over YouTube right now. And it's fantastic. And I think right now you have a huge opportunity. Like I said, there's so many people who are getting into this right now. Just think strategically. Think about it from a viewer's perspective. If someone wanted to learn how to homestead, how would they search for that? Where would they start? What's step A? What's step B? What's step C? So on and so forth. Make those videos. And then in the middle of those videos, you can document your life on the farm at the same time, but just be strategic about how you write those titles so people can find you easier. Thank you. Right on. Happy to help. Awesome info, D. Damn right, Justin. Thank you, man. Thank you, my man. I much appreciated. All right, next question comes from Critter Hunter. My new sub count went from 3,000 a month to 100. Ouch. You went from 3,000 a month to 100. Dead the last couple of months. I can't find out how. Well, the first thing I have to ask you is how did you get those 3,000? Were you buying subscribers? Were you doing sub for sub? Or are these organic subscribers who are coming to your channel? So a couple of things could have happened. If you went from 3,000 to 100, and I'm looking at your channel here really quick. So you're still getting some views. You're still getting some views. Oh, are you doing shorts? Here, give me a second here. I'm just looking at your channel. You're uploading 3 days ago, playlists. Give me a second. Popular uploads. So you're still getting the views. You're just not converting them as much. I've actually heard several people tell me right now they're not converting as much. Justin, have you found that you're not converting as much right now either? Because I know I've talked to a handful of people who are struggling to convert right now for whatever reason. So it is organic 100%. 3,000 to 100, that's pretty extreme. And I'm looking through your content here to see if you've got anything that could be restricting your channel, but it just looks like you're all ocean stuff. It doesn't look like there's anything risky on your channel. Yeah, without looking at your data, this is a difficult thing for me to answer because I don't know what's happening on the back end. All I'm seeing on the front end is you're still getting views, right? 1,000 plus views almost on every video. So it's difficult for me to say exactly what's going on because you're still getting the views. It just might be that you're not converting them for whatever reason. If you want to shoot me a DM on Twitter or something like that, I can try to help you look at this deeper. You would have to give me like manager access to where I could go in and just glance at things on the back end to see if I can see anything. I can't really do too much deep dives. That's not something that I do on a regular basis, but I need a little bit more information to try to figure out because 3,000 to 100, that's a massive, massive drop, but you are getting the views. So on the surface, I can't tell you without seeing the data a little bit better. Next question comes from Charlie. Charlie says, why is my channel not growing? My guess is you're not feeding it correctly. So if I go to Charles YT, okay, here we go. I did send question on link above. Hold on here. Hey, Tracy, how you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, everybody loses subscribers. That kind of happens. Hold on, I'm looking through the chat right here. I'm not converting anymore either. Yeah, like I know a lot of people right now. We were kind of having some private conversations where people we're getting, the views are coming in, but a lot of people are just not converting. But 3,000 to 100, that's weird. Do your wife wanted your input? If we make a shorts channel, how close to Walter's World could we make the new name, or do a totally different name? For brand recognition, I would probably do Walter's World Shorts. Walter's World Shorts. Keep in mind, a lot of problems that people are having with shorts right now is they're getting insane amounts of views. And YouTube does have the new Shorts Fund right now. So some of those views are getting monetized, and I think you're in a good position to where you could monetize that. I mean, it's not like anything like long form monetization, but it is some money. But people are having a really difficult time turning those views into subscribers for people who are making shorts channels on their own. Not that they can't do it. Some people are having success, but just as you get into this, just know that subscriber growth might be a lot slower than you're used to, because shorts is a completely different beast and it brings in a different type of viewer. And the way shorts are set up, it's not the easiest to actually subscribe to a channel. That's why I also recommend taking that same piece of content, put it on Triller and Dub Smash and all the others, because those are easier to actually build communities on those channels than it is to build shorts on a shorts channel. So I just for brand recognition, I would do Walter's World Shorts. When will the Shorts Fund be added to other countries? I don't know on that one. I really don't know. I did a collab a while back that helped, but even the views stopped increasing now. Consistent at least, but I used to track the progress. Now, no. Yeah, that's hard to say, you know, like 3,000 to 100, man. That's a hellacious drop. But I will say this. I want you to keep in mind, because I don't know what right, without looking at your data, it's hard for me to say. If I go in and I look at any channel's data, any channel that was growing, if you look at it during the shutdown aspect of the pandemic, you're going to see in most channels a huge swell of views and subscribers and everything. Everyone was inside. Everyone was on the internet. Traffic on the internet just soared when everybody was on lockdown. Nobody's locked down anymore. Everybody's out. Everybody's enjoying the weather. Nobody's inside anymore. So traffic across the board is down for a lot of channels. Subscribers are down for a lot of channels. So it could be, again, I haven't seen your data, but it could be that you just had a massive swell because of what was happening in the world, and now things are leveling back out. That could be happening as well. So again, without seeing the back end, I can't say for sure. Dean, my man, how you doing? I haven't seen you in forever. That's right. You're not growing because you're not feeding it properly. 100% everywhere opening up has had an impact. You got to look at 2 to 3 years trend. Yeah, you have to. Here's what I would recommend. Go in and look at your overall stats. See where you were before the world shut down. Where were you at before the world shut down? And then look at where you're at now. If those are fairly close, then I would say you're okay. But if you were way higher before the world shut down and now you're a lot lower, yeah, then that's cause for some concern. Got to eat your greens. You got it. So Charlie, you're a Minecraft player. You're playing Minecraft. You're getting views on your Minecraft. You're making shorts that's getting views. And what was your question again? Why is my channel not growing? So you're focusing on YouTube Shorts. You've got a lot of YouTube Shorts. You're getting views on YouTube Shorts. The places that you're getting the most views seem to be on your YouTube Shorts. You've got one that's got like 8,000 views from a week ago. That's fantastic. Like I was talking with Walter's World there, it can be difficult to turn views into subscribers when you're getting views from YouTube Shorts. It's not impossible, but it can be difficult for most people. So here's what I would say. I think you're fairly new to all this. You haven't been doing this even a year yet, and you're playing a super competitive game. So keep going. When you find a certain specific type of video that you make with the game and you're like, wow, this works, try to make more like it. You're getting views from shorts, but they're not converting over. So that's fine. Just keep going. You have to understand you're a gamer. You're playing Minecraft. it's going to be difficult if you're not doing anything different than any of the other millions of Minecraft gamers. So think about what you can do to stand out just a little bit within the Minecraft game, which is going to be difficult, but you just got to put in the time. You got to put in the time. You got to get better. You got to get better at making thumbnails. You got to get better at editing your games. And if all you're doing is just like watch me play the game, it's going to be tough to grow a channel, because that's what everybody's doing. All right, next question comes from M Spark. Suitable way to build a community? A suitable way to build a community starts with answering every comment. That's a great way to get started. It's also great to actually go live. Going live on your channel is a great way to start building a community. Renee Ritchie, what's going on, my man? This is the way, brother. This is the way. They're filming season 3 right now. Super fired up for that. So a great way to build a community is start with answering every single comment, right? Because you will reach a point where it gets very difficult to answer every comment. So answer every comment, and not just with a thanks, right? So somebody leaves a comment on your channel, especially at your size, you're getting started, you've got tons of time, you don't have thousands of comments yet. Leave a meaningful comment back. If somebody leaves a comment, leave a comment back that, that something beyond thanks. Hey, thanks for watching. What was your favorite part of the video? Or hey, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, say something a little bit more meaningful. It starts there. Start going live on your channel. You don't have to go live for an hour or 2 hours. Go live for 30 minutes. Go live for 20 minutes. Doesn't matter if 2 or 3 people show up. That's fantastic. Talk to 2 or 3 people. Hey, Stacy, how you doing? Right? Talk to 2 or 3 people. If you don't know what you're going to talk about before you go live, take a piece of paper, grab a pen, write down 5 things that you want to talk about that are related to whatever it is that you're doing on your channel. So when you go live, as soon as you hit go live, say, hey, how's it going? Welcome. This is my first live stream, or this is the whatever date or whatever. Today I'm going to talk about these things. If you have any comments or questions, go ahead and let me know in the chat, and just start talking about those things. Talk about those things. And if people show up and they start interacting, then you can interact with them back. You don't have to go live for a long period of time. Do that consistently, right? Upload your videos consistently. Reply to their comments consistently. Go live. Talk to the people who are watching your channel. Eventually what happens is you're going to notice that people are going to start coming back, so on and so forth. It's a process. Ed, how you doing, man? Nice to see you in here. Hope you're doing well. Scully's House of Thriller, how you doing, sir? Hold on. Foundation has been amazing. Yeah, we're getting into, look, I'm not a big fan of the time jumping in Foundation, but man, it's a great story. I know it came from a book, I believe. It's visually beautiful. Oh yeah, dude, the Book of Boba. I'm so fired up for the Book of Boba. I can't even stand it. Can't even stand it. I'm so excited for that. All right, next question here comes from Wombat and Kiwi Bar. Titastic set up and manages my channel. I've been up and running for 16 days. Welcome to YouTube. And I wanted to say thanks for helping him. And can you give Oi and myself any top tips? Thank you. Lunch and drinks on me whenever you come to Thailand again, Steve. Man, whenever I come to Thailand, I don't know when I've lived in Thailand for 18 years, 19 years. I don't know when I'm getting back. Hopefully in the next couple of months. Oh, you're in Jom Tien. Yeah, I lived in Pattaya for a while. I actually have a property. I have a property in Pattaya still. Let me look at your channel here really quick. Wombat, Kiwi Bar, Jom Tien Beach. So here's what I would do. Here's what I would do on your channel. You do whatever you want. I see that you're showing the menu and all that stuff. I would mix in, because obviously it looks like you're trying to drive people to your business there. I would drive, in addition to what you're doing, I would pepper in videos that taught people about the area, right? What's the best beach to get, the best beach in Jom Tien. It used to be Dong Tan Beach. I don't know if it is now, but the best beach in Jom Tien, 5 scams to avoid in Jom Tien, 5 restaurants to eat at in Jom Tien, the best, what do they call it? Is it paragliding where they take them out on the boats? Whatever. The best paragliding service in Jom Tien or whatever. Teach people about Jom Tien, right? Teach people about the area, the good and the bad. Teach people all about it who've never been there before. And then pepper that in between your actual restaurant there. So as you bring people in, you educate them about Pattaya, you educate them about Jom Tien, then they also see, oh, it's your restaurant. So, oh yeah, I'll go check out that restaurant. So, pepper that in. Education, teach them about the area, and then pepper that in with your restaurant as well. Bring people in, teach them about Jomtien and Pattaya, and then let them know that once they're in Pattaya, stop on by. Maybe there's a 10% discount for new timers to Jomtien and first time. I don't know. You can figure that out. But I would mix this in with education for people who want to come to Jomtien for the first time, because once Thailand opens back up, and they're eventually going to open back up, we will eventually get back to travel again. Maybe next year sometime. I don't know when this is going to happen, but eventually Thailand's going to start having tourists again and people who've never been there before. Like, why couldn't it be your channel introducing them to the more, I don't know, family-friendly side to Jomtien, or not the family-friendly side? I don't know what it is you're doing with your bar. But why not? Why can't it be your channel introducing people to Jomtien and Pattaya for the first time? And then while you're there, check out my restaurant. So that's what I got for you. Awesome. Thanks. Tips. I'm getting a jet ski and a tuk-tuk also. Yeah, I'm really curious. Awesome. Cool on the tuk-tuk, by the way. I'm really curious if you'll have any problems with the jet ski crew there. Because I know when I was there, that jet ski scam was just running rampant in that area on both sides in Jomtien and Pattaya. But I lived in it. That was a long time ago. I don't know if they've cleaned that up or not. Good stuff, though. All right. Hold on. I got 1 million shorts browse in 7 days. Views. You got 1 million shorts views. That's fantastic. Congratulations. That's awesome. Okay, so I've closed the actual form. I've answered all the questions in the form. If you have any questions that you want answered in the chat right now, just drop it in. Just give me a cue like that in the front of it. Let me know that it's a question so I can identify it. Excuse me, first come, first serve. I'll answer a few of those. Thailand is cool and based in the Philippines for the channel. Philippines is awesome too. One of the coolest things I did in the Philippines years ago, and I don't know if it's erupted since, but man, it has to be. It's well over 10 years. My God, 10 or 12 years. So I used to go to the Philippines, Manila, Cebu, AC, but I went to, what was it called? Legazpi in the Philippines. And it was Mount Legazpi was erupting in the Philippines at that time. 10, 12, maybe 15 years ago. It's been a really long time. Mount Legazpi was erupting. So I went there, and I don't know if it's built up now, but whatever, 10 or 15 years ago, Legazpi, there was nothing there. So you fly in this tiny little plane, a tiny plane, like it was like, like you're running drugs or something, like that type of a vibe, come in on this tiny little airport. And there was nobody there. I was the only foreigner in the entire city at the time in Legazpi, the only foreigner there. And so Legazpi was erupting. And I paid one of the locals to actually take me up on the mountain. We trekked, went all the way up on the mountain in Legazpi, and it was erupting. But you couldn't get too close. But they took me to like the wall, one of the walls of lava. Man, it was like, I don't know, probably 10 or 12 feet tall. This huge, and it was drying up, so it was like mostly black and smoking. But it took me to this huge wall, and you couldn't even get super close to it because it was so hot. I got pictures of it. on a hard drive in Thailand. And like, I remember pieces of it were like breaking and then lava would just ooze out of it. And the local was telling me like 2 nights before, people were going up and they were drinking in this spot. And a lava explosion happened where like, instead of it cracking and oozing out, like it cracked and it exploded out. And like the lava like shot out in little pieces and just went all over the people that were there drinking and I'm not laughing. It killed them all. It killed them all up there. I don't know. It's a weird, twisted story, but Legazpi, Philippines, best amazing experience there in the Philippines. Timer Bernard. That was a weird story. Yeah.
Super chat.
Timer Bernard. Bark Collar Fund for Chihuahua Cartel. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, first come, first serve. Here we go. What are your thoughts doing a shorts on a main channel versus a shorts channel? It depends on the size of your channel. If you have a really large channel, I would not put shorts on my main channel. Not that it's the end of the world. It's just that it can mess up your data a little bit if you're really heavy into data. Again, it's not going to be the end of the world, but I probably wouldn't put it on the main channel. I would say this, if you are going to do shorts and you are going to put them on a main channel, I would say to make sure that it's relevant. So if you have a channel about rebuilding old Corvettes, make sure your shorts are also about rebuilding old Corvettes. So the same audience can watch both of those. But if you've got a smaller channel, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Question, I'm wondering if we are doing wrong mixing a little of our marriage on our homesteading channel. It depends. How is the audience responding to those videos? Right? How's the audience responding? If you're finding that the audience is responding positively, like, wow, when we upload our marriage videos, people really like this stuff, keep doing it. If you're like, yeah, these marriage videos don't really gain any traction, then that's the audience telling you that they're not interested in that. So this is where you need to, trust the analytics on that, right? Look at how your audience is responding and then make that decision from there. I film underwater in the Philippines. Oh, awesome. I discovered a new species of nudibranch in Darwin. Interesting. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm going to have to check your channel out. I've had good times in the Philippines, man. A lot of good times in the Philippines. Scrolling down. Hold on here. I'll buy the jet ski. Will be maintained by the guys on the beach to rent it out. Oh, there you go. You take 50%. It will go to the go to safe, honest rental place to go. Okay, right on. Yeah, those guys were ruthless back when I was there. They used to beat people up and stuff. So, they would bring the jet skis in and tell the tourists that they tore the jet ski up when they didn't, and then they refused to pay, and then they would crazy stuff. I hope they got that taken care of. D and a crop duster doing loop-de-loops. You got it. All right. Question, what's your take on channel trailers, worth it or a waste of time? I think it's a waste of time. Ask yourself this question, because I could be different. Ask yourself this, do you care about channel trailers? How many people in the chat right now? Type in yes or no. Do you care about channel trailers? I never watch channel trailers. Never. I don't care. I'm there to watch the actual video content. I don't care what your channel trailer is. Let me know. You guys let me know. That I could be in the minority on this one. I think it's a waste of time, but I could be in the minority. Let's see what the chat has to say about that. Let's see. Hold on. That's why I don't mess with volcanoes enough in Australia that can kill me. Yeah, so I've been watching. So there's that volcano that's been erupting in Iceland for almost a year now. And I'm watching all of the tourists come there, and they're getting dangerously close. They're getting really close and poking some of the lava that's coming. I'm just like, man, you guys, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen those things crack and the lava ooze out. But, the guy was telling me that, sometimes they crack and shoot out, a pressure buildup behind it, and it explodes out. Just tiny little pieces of lava. But you think about this, if you have a marble-sized piece of, not even a marble, if you have a pin, or let's say, if you have a piece of lava that shoots out, that's this big, and it goes through your head, you're dead. Right? So it's just that's just not a risk. So when he told me that, I backed up. I was like, how far did it shoot? And he showed me, and I was like, all right. And then there was still some blood and stuff on the matted down grass. So I was like, okay, I'm backing up. That was crazy. Going through the chat. I just missed my part in this. Hold on. Question, have you gotten much value from the new versus returning viewer graph they've added to analytics? That's a great question, Renee. It's given me some insight. So what I'm finding, I'm in a weird place with my channel, Renee, because I started out helping mobile creators, mobile live streamers, and that sort of thing. And what's been happening is I've been getting an influx of people who are now making content. Well, it's a combination of things. New people who are making content with a computer, or they've, with a camera, and people who have upgraded from their phone or from their tablet to a camera and to a computer. So my audience has been changing, and it's made my analytics really weird. So I'm kind of in a real spot. I haven't gotten a lot of value out of it yet, other than I wish I had more returning viewers than I do, because that tells me that I don't have my finger on the pulse of what my viewers want. So there's that, but man, my analytics are just really weird right now. So I would say yes and no on that one. Hey, Larcia, how you doing? How about you, Renee? What have you gotten out of it? Question, I have a channel with 16,000 subscribers, but I hardly get any views. What can I do? Well, my first question to you, Raheem, is where did those subscribers come from? I'm not going to be mad at you here. Nobody's going to be mad at you, but did you buy those subscribers or did you engage in sub for sub? Grow together. Did you do any of that to get that 16,000 subscribers? Because if you did, that's why you're not getting any views, right? A lot of people, when they're starting YouTube, they don't understand that the whole sub for sub or buying subscribers or the grow together. They think that's how you grow, but that actually hurts your channel, because while you're inflating your subscriber number, that's all you're doing. You're inflating your subscriber number, but you're not building a community of people who are actually interested in your videos. They don't care about your videos. So if you did build that organically, meaning you earned those subscribers early on, what could have also happened is you've changed direction on your channel. So let's say you have a couple of videos that brought in all of those subscribers, and now you're making videos that are different than the videos that brought in all those subscribers. That could be another reason you're not getting views. Without looking at the back end of your channel and having more information, it's hard for me to say. Let's see here. No volcanoes or earthquake places. For me, leave me with my hurricanes. There you go. Question. I have hundreds of videos and I still only have 0 to 8 views and no subscribers. But the same video on my website has thousands. Why? I'm in the Philippines too. All right, let me see if I can find you. I'm not going to, well, hold on. Give me a second. I'm not going to say I'm not going to pull you up. Give me a second to see if I can find you. Kareem Jackson. Let's see here. Kareem Jackson. What's your channel? On the Set. Kareem Jackson on the Set. Wow, you got 400. All right, so I'm. Hold on here. I am going to pull your channel up here. Kareem Jackson on the Set. Okay, now at a glance here, I'm just seeing what's going on. I'm looking at your channel as a first-time viewer. I have no expectations. I'm trying to see if I understand what's happening. So you're a minimalist entrepreneur, lifestyle coach, and publisher. Okay, you're doing a wide group of things here, but that's fine. Kareem Jackson, Freedom Series. Okay. Okay. Well, here. Okay. So here's the thing. This title doesn't say anything to me. Your videos. We see it as a great opportunity. Okay, here's the problem. You're not growing on YouTube because of your titles. Your titles and possibly your topics and your thumbnails. Like this stuff, look at these thumbnails. Your thumbnails, they don't say anything. Hold on. All right, so here's what I got for you. I'm going to drop a link into the chat. Second here. So there's a website that YouTube created it's called the Creator Academy. It's the YouTube Creator Academy. And I'm going to drop this into the chat right now. So anyone who's new to YouTube and you're trying to figure out how does YouTube work? Why am I not growing? This is a website that's created by YouTube. It's a series of courses, mini courses or small courses where YouTube teaches you how to YouTube. Right? YouTube teaches you how to YouTube. It's free. You just use your Gmail account and you go through it. You can look at monetization or content strategy, so on and so forth. But in your situation, you're not growing on YouTube. It's by looking at your channel art here. I'm like, okay, well, he's got lots of information on how to be a minimalist entrepreneur, a lifestyle coach, so on and so forth. You're a publisher. You've got ebooks, so on and so forth. But when I come down here to your videos, you really need to learn how to make thumbnails. The thumbnails that you're making, that's not it, right? People are not going to click on those. The titles that you're writing, they don't speak to anyone. Now, here's what I want you to do. As a minimalist, and I'm just going to pick one of these things because you've got lifestyle coach, publisher, minimalist, entrepreneur. Just go roll with me on this one. Let's say I want you to pick minimalist entrepreneur, okay? Entrepreneur? Is it entrepreneur? Entrepreneur? Okay. Hold on. And what I want you to do is think about what are 5 videos that a minimalist entrepreneur needs to watch before they start going down that path. What are those 5 videos? Like let's just forget the minimalism part. If I want to become an entrepreneur, what are things that you know that you could teach me for like step 1? Like, okay, I'm working this crappy job right now, right? Think about it from a viewer's perspective. I'm working a crappy job right now. I hate my job. I don't get paid enough. I want to start a side hustle that eventually leads to my own business. What's step 1? What would that be? What would you call step 1? What would the title of that be? Could it be how to quit your job to start your own business? Could it be how to start your first side hustle? Could it be beginner's guide to becoming an entrepreneur? Right? Think about writing titles in a manner that speak to the viewer that wants to watch that video. But if you're just putting quotes in here and stuff like that, you're not speaking to anybody on that. Nobody can find this stuff. That's why you're not growing on YouTube. Your videos might be amazing. Like I click into this, your videos might be on point. The problem isn't that. The problem is nobody can find you. YouTube is not going to recommend these videos to anyone, and nobody can find you through search. So you're getting killed right out of the gate. All traffic sources, you're getting killed because you're not optimizing this in a way where people can find you in any capacity. And then if they do find you, you need to make sure that your thumbnails are made in a way to make people want to click. And I can tell you right now, like taking a thumbnail like this, you see all this text on here? That's not it, right? A thumbnail is not to shove a bunch of text on. When it comes to thumbnails, less is more. You don't want to try to shove a whole title into a thumbnail. Think less is more. The fewer words you can put into your thumbnail, the better. If you can put a couple of trigger words in there or a couple of words that really get attention, like that's the goal of a thumbnail. Trying to just cram a whole bunch of stuff into your thumbnails, that's not it. So even if people find you, they're not clicking. Look at all that little text in here. I can't even read that on a desktop, let alone on a phone where most of your views are going to be coming from. Right, that's just a lot of text on here. So, this is a little bit better. 5 ways to revive and reinvent your life. See, now you're on the right track, right? If I go back 5 months ago, how to get started saving 50% off your labor costs. See, now here, you're doing it here. How I left America and survived, 10 steps. So you were doing it here. And look at how simple your thumbnail is here. That's how you move forward. Like that's, wow, way too much small text, right? You move forward with stuff like this and you have to do it over and over and over again. But what you're doing, you got a video like this, which is great, but then you come in here and go, Happy Mother's Day, and just mess that up. What else you doing in here? Print versus digital. What about it? Trigger warning, right? That's okay. Why I love the Philippines. I don't know. Does that fit into like being an entrepreneur or publishing and that sort of thing? Maybe. You follow me? Like you really need to like figure out like, and it looks to me also like you're targeting the Black community, which is fine. But if you are, right? If you're like, hey, I want to target the Black community, then that's fine. But you need to think this through and have some strategy to where like every video specifically is speaking to the Black community. So you write titles in a way for the things that they might be interested in. Right. So anyway, that was a really long look at your channel, but that's why you're not growing on YouTube. Titles, topics, thumbnails. You touched on it early on, so you know how to do it. You just weren't consistent with it. If you had 400 videos that targeted, like I circled there a minute ago, if you had 400 of those, you'd be in a completely different spot than you are right now. That's what I got for you. Nope. Okay, so everybody's saying no about looking at the channel trailers. Nope. Right? Nobody's looking at channel trailers. Doesn't mean you shouldn't have one. It's just nobody cares about them. Not so much. I've never watched a trailer. Endless relaxation. Aloha. Almost to 10,000 after listening to your live stream. So thank you. Hey, congratulations. My retention sits around 57 to 64. That's great. On approximately a 10-minute video, that's fantastic. But I haven't been putting ads in the middle, and I try to hold that retention. That's fantastic. That's better than I get. So congratulations. I was wondering if you think ads drop retention. Yes and no. Yes and no. I hate ads so much I pay for YouTube Premium. Prior to getting YouTube Premium, which by the way, if anybody hasn't purchased that yet and you're tired of ads, I think it's the best buy that you can possibly get. YouTube Premium is fantastic. Gets rid of all the ads. From a viewer's perspective, if prior to that, I don't mind an ad at the beginning, but the video would have to be really good and hold my attention for me to stick through a midway roll, right? But if you've made it in, if you've got a 10-minute video, or however long your video is, and you've dropped a video or an ad somewhere in the middle, and if they've made it that far and they're engaged, they might stick around. So here's what I would say. Put some in there and test it, right? If you're getting a 50 to 60% retention on a 10-minute video or however many, 15 minutes, whatever it is, try putting an ad in there and see what happens, right? You got your audience retention graph to show you what's happening. So just pay attention to where you drop the ad and then go back and then look at it and just say, okay, what happens when I drop the ad? So it's hard to say. Your community could be totally different. Your viewers, your audience could be totally different. I'm not somebody who would normally stick around. It would have to be a great video for me to stay, but I'm not your target audience. So test it with your audience and see how it works. Going through here. YouTube doesn't want you to stop watching, so they've incentivized to slow down ads on accounts that click them out more. Huh? YouTube doesn't want you to stop watching. Yeah, that's true. So they've incentivized to slow down ads on accounts that clicked. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I haven't paid any attention. You know what? Like I bought YouTube Premium and I just stopped even thinking about ads. Like that was just the best purchase I think I've bought online in a very, very long time. Premium is $14 a month. Yes. How do I get the community tab? Good question. Once you reach 500 subscribers and you hold that as a minimum for, I believe it's 7 or 10 days, YouTube has now started rolling that out to everyone. Previously, it was much higher. Starting October 12th, they started rolling that out to everyone over 500. Let's see. YouTube Premium for the win. Yeah, absolutely. It's a no-brainer for me. Like so having YouTube Premium, there's no way I could go back and not use Premium. So I have a couple of test channels and that sort of thing. And they're not on YouTube Premium. And I can't even stand watching, if I'm in there and I'm logged in somewhere and I forget to go back to my main account and those aren't on Premium and I go to watch something and an ad plays, I'm like, oh my goodness. And I got to click over. I can't even stomach watching ads anymore. Yeah, $1.99. It should be like around $14. You might have bought something else there, Low Crafty Nook. Yes, and you still get money out of the premium views. Yes, absolutely. Premium's well worth it. You got it. Hey, Susie, how you doing? Let's see. Hey, D, I made this channel move comic content away from my pop channel. It's growing fast. I've not made a title splash page yet. Any suggestions? Title splash page? What? I made this channel to move comic content away from my pop channel. It's growing fast. I've not made a title. Are you talking about a channel trailer? Not sure what your question is exactly. Question, what are your thoughts on the community tab being available to content creators with over 500 subscribers? I think it's fantastic. I think YouTube should lower the threshold for a lot of their features. The thing is, are you going to take advantage of the community tab? That's the thing. A lot of people are going to get access to it, and a lot of people are not going to use it. So I think it's great. I think they should lower the threshold for a lot of channels. Going back to the chat here. Hey, Mike, how you doing, man? I usually post silly, funny, short videos about this game I play. Is that good enough to start growing, or longer videos could be more impactful? Well, as we've talked about with YouTube Shorts, for some channels, it can be it can be really difficult, actually, to turn those views into subscribers for people who are just focusing on shorts, where longer form content has a tendency to turn those viewers into subscribers. It's something you're going to have to experiment to see what your audience likes. You know, there isn't a right or wrong answer. It's just a lot of channels struggle to turn shorts viewers into subscribers. How to turn a nudist colony into its first video for a minimalist entrepreneur 100%. Funny story about that. Man, I went to, when I was, how old was I? I don't know, in my mid-20s, I guess, early 20s. We went to Jamaica to a resort called Hedonism. That, 30 something years ago. It's a long time ago. 30 plus years ago, I guess. And yeah, that was like a clothing optional resort. That was an interesting experience. Could probably write a whole book on the week that we were there. That was really interesting. That's the first time going to a clothing optional thing.
Super chat.
Endless relaxation. Thank you so much. Aloha from Hawaii. Always happy to see you on. With each live, I always learn something new. Thank you so much for the super chat and support. I appreciate you. Hedonism. What? Wow. That always sounded like a good time. Yeah, man. How long ago was that? I can tell you. Hold on. I'll tell you exactly. So 49 minus 23. It was about 26 years ago. 25 or 26 years ago. I've seen pictures now of Negril, Jamaica, and it's totally different. Like the road is paved, and they've got Rick's Cafe, where the famous cliff jumping is. Like that's all like they've got like this cliff, like a platform now. Back then, it was just like you had to walk out on like broken rock to jump off. Completely. There's like McDonald's there now. Like it's 25 years can do a lot of stuff for development on an island in a developing country. But yeah, 25, 26 years ago, it was a wild week. I love it. Yeah, we can talk about that on Twitch sometime, because that was a really interesting stuff. Question: if you could swap channels with any other YouTube creator, who would it be? I would only have to think about it. It would be Tested by Adam Savage. That's like a dream type channel for me. He was doing Dr. Manhattan cosplay. Yeah, I didn't do it. That was weird for me. It was clothing optional, and I kept my shorts on that one. That was just, I was like 24 or something like that, 23, 24. That's a little much. That was a little much at that particular time. But yeah. Yeah. I remember Hedonism. I'm 50. There you go. So we're close to the same age there. That's funny. It's usually the people you don't want to see. Yeah. So I got to be careful what I say on this channel. I don't want to get like shut down or anything. But so Hedonism is a clothing optional resort. We knew that going in, because that was kind of like the whole area, like all the resorts in that area was kind of like clothing optional. Like, that doesn't mean we're doing it, but I'm totally fine with people being nude. So that wasn't even a thing. What we didn't know at the time was that it was also a swingers resort. And while we were there, they happened to have a very large convention at that particular time. Just like countless swinger lifestyle people who were there, and that was interesting to come across. Way off the rails. Yeah, that was way off the rails. That was different. It was a different thing. Didn't know what we were getting into there. Totally expected clothing optional. Like the beach was separated. Didn't expect to go to the pool for like a late night swim and see that. That was interesting. D definitely has more to this story. Are you going to make a Halloween pick? Nope. Yeah, I'm just trying to tiptoe around the words here. Yep, because P does. D, who are you cosplaying at this Halloween? I'm in Mexico still, and we just got on Friday. We were just able to get our second vaccine shot. So they have here in Mexico the Dia de la Muerte, which is Day of the Dead. Did I say that right? Dia de la Muerte, Muertos. What is it? Day of the Dead. Hold on. I know I said it wrong. Hold on. Dia de Muertos. Say it wrong. It's the Day of the Dead, and it happens on the 1st and the 2nd of November. It happens after Halloween. So here is, it's like a really big deal, and because we finally got our second shot. Yeah, Dia de los Muertos is the name of it. Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. And Day of the Dead, in case you guys are wondering, let me pull up some images here. So Day of the Dead it's a big cultural thing, and it's people visit the cemeteries for their family members and stuff like that. But at the same time, people dress up and they paint their faces. If you saw the Pixar show or the Pixar cartoon called Coco, that was built around Day of the Dead. So we have that the day after Halloween. So I'm not cosplaying for Halloween, but because we are now vaccinated in 2 weeks from now or whatever, when it should be safer, we are going to go to that, I believe. So we're looking forward to that. That's been a bucket list thing for years. Coco, yes. Yes, we're going to be doing the whole Coco thing. We're actually going to go to one of the cities that was the inspiration for Coco. Coco was awesome. Taught me a lot. Yeah. So they got the inspiration for Coco from a couple of cities here. That we're going to go to one of those for that. Let's see. Going back to the chat. Yep. Hey, Golf Coast Crane. Yes. Dia de los Muertos. Yes, there it is. Let's see. It just so happens they had a convention. It just so happens they had a. Well, you have to understand. Keep in mind, let's just say 25, 26 years ago, we had internet, but you're talking like AOL and AOL chat rooms, and you were booking trips through like travel agents. We didn't have Reddit, we didn't have Twitter, we didn't have YouTube. It wasn't like, oh, hey, I'm going to this place. What are the things I need? You didn't have that stuff 25, 26, 27 years ago. We had AOL chat rooms and some basic internet and dial-up and stuff like that. So it wasn't like the information was so forthcoming, right? Yep, there it is. Thank you. Dia de los Muertos. Mexican Cowboy. Follow D on Twitch. There you go. So for those of you who are going to be doing something for Halloween, what are you doing? Do you frequent that Twister bar from dusk till dawn? CompuServe, yeah, right. It was like AOL and CompuServe. It's funny because like Renee, so you know, right? Like traveling was different back then. Like travel, and I've been traveling for a long time. So like going to places 25, 26, 30 years ago or whatever was completely different than that. Now you can just like hop online and like, hey, well, how do I get a taxi out of, how do I catch a taxi from Phnom Penh, Cambodia? Right? Like now it's super easy. Hey, what scam should I avoid in Phnom Penh? Or can I drink the water in Phnom Penh, Cambodia? Like you couldn't figure that out back then. You had to just figure it out for yourself. You know, you would travel with like notes that you would get from other people, and sometimes you could get a guidebook on like a Lonely Planet book on certain places. It was completely different experience back then. Traveling is easy now. Let's see, and they cost a fortune. There you go. We had to use printed books, street guides, like animals. That's right, savages. We were raised like savages, Renee. Yeah, paper airline tickets. You got it. Pia, have a good night. Thank you so much for stopping by. CompuServe, yeah. And you really had to trust your travel agent 25 years ago. Yeah, so that was the thing. Like You like through recommendations through other people, you would have to find travel agents that you trusted. We used to go to Cuba back in the day, back before the internet was really popular. Back then for Americans to go to Cuba, you couldn't go from the U.S. I know they've eased it up a little bit, but we used to have to deal with a travel agent in Canada who would get us the tourist cards for Cuba. They would mail us the tourist cards. We would then travel to Mexico, to Cancun, Mexico, from the U.S. with our tourist card. And when you fly into Mexico back then, you didn't want them to ever, in your passport, you never wanted a Cuban stamp in your passport. And you didn't want to have an exit stamp in your passport as well when you didn't actually come home to the U.S., right? So what we would do is we get our tourist card from a Canadian travel agent. We would fly to Cancun, Mexico, and we'd go through immigration on the way out. We'd book our tickets from Cancun to Havana in Cuba, and we would put like $20 in our passport when we were exiting immigration in Mexico. Back then, they didn't have, there's no like fingerprints or facial recognition stuff back then, right? So we'd put like $20 in our passport, folded up at the top. So as soon as they would open it, they would see the money. So we'd slide the passport to the immigration officer on the way out. And we'd say, no stamp, por favor. No stamp, por favor, right? And they would just like take the money, and it was part of the thing. Like it was a huge racket that they had. And that was just, people told you, this is what you got to do. So we would do that. They would take the 20. You would fly to Cuba, and when you landed in Cuba, the Cuban immigration, they knew not to stamp your passport, so they'd give you a little piece of paper. They would stamp it on a piece of paper, so you didn't have a stamp on your passport. Then we'd fly back to Mexico when our Cuba trip was finished, $20 in our passport, no stamp, por favor, and then Mexico didn't stamp you in. And then you'd fly back to the U.S. So back then, there was nobody shared airline information or passenger manifest, right? This was years ago. So you never technically left Mexico. So that was the way people used to go to Cuba back in the day. Man, we're just talking about all kinds of weird stuff on this trip. Yeah, traveler's checks. Oh, man. Yeah, man, internet cafes. Yeah, when I first started going to Thailand, they just had a couple of internet cafes here and there, like, a couple in Bangkok. I think when we went to like the islands and stuff, there might be one internet cafe with dial-up. That was crazy stuff. Yes, printed tickets. I love it. Travel is easy now. Famous last words. Wow. Travel, the education of learning how to travel. Yes. I ended up at a resort like that about 20 years ago in Florida. It was mostly old couples. I was mortified. Yeah, you got some crazy stuff going on in Florida. Travel's easy. Stuck in Mexico for a year and a half. Yeah, famous last words, right? Let me see. What was the hardest moment of your YouTube journey? The hardest moment of my YouTube journey is right now. Right now is the most difficult part of my YouTube journey. You would think that trying, like we talked about this last week, like you would think, okay, I've got like, whatever, from the outside, you see, 145,000 subscribers. I'm a full-time YouTuber. I make good money at this. I've got brand deals and sponsorships and that sort of thing. So I've got everything that I wanted, but the hardest part is like finding, once you get to a certain size and your audience starts to change and there's videos that you want to make that is not necessarily going to do very well on the channel, the hardest part is figuring out the next steps. The hardest part is finding out the right ways to do partial pivots and how to carefully and strategically make the next steps so you can keep the ball rolling, right? So I would say right now is my most difficult part of YouTube.
Super chat.
Thank you so much. Apologies if this is a lame question. No, there's no lame questions here. I mean, we're talking about swinger resorts. So, I mean, I think anything's fair game at this point. I'm so close to the 4,000 watch hours. Congratulations. And I've already have the subscribers. How do I start making money on here? Okay, so here's the thing. It's really easy to look at YouTube monetization as the end-all be-all. I can't wait to get into the partner program. And it's fantastic that you are getting into the partner program because you can enable super chats and the thanks feature, and you can get some revenue for the ads that play on your video. And I think that's fantastic. You should do those things. depending on the type of content that you make and where your views are coming from, you have to understand that ads pay out differently based on the audience and the type of content that you make. So if you have viewers in Bangladesh, for example, you're going to get paid a lot less for that view than if your viewers in, say, Canada or in Australia, right? So your audience, where your audience is, can change your payouts dramatically. The type of content that you make, right? Like I do like mobile tutorials. Half of my viewers are in like Malaysia, Singapore, or India, Bangladesh, whatever. I actually don't make a lot of money with ad revenue. Ad revenue for me is at the very lowest thing on my channel in terms of monetization. Now, on the flip side of that, people who give financial advice or people who are in different types of niches, they make a lot of money through ads or they get a lot of views, so they can make a lot of money. So it depends. There's a couple factors here. So here's what I'd recommend. In addition to getting monetized, go live. You might get some super chats, right? Try to think of other ways that you can monetize your channel. Do you have merch for sale? Do you have t-shirts for sale? Can you get brand deals? Can you work with companies where they can sponsor videos? Can you get into affiliate marketing where you can talk about certain products and then send people off to actually sign up through a link that you have? I wouldn't put your eggs in the monetization, all your eggs in the monetization basket in terms of YouTube Partner Program, right? Use that money. It's great when it comes in, and some people make a lot of money doing that. But I would also look at alternative ways to monetize your channel as well. That would be my advice. In order to gain a following on YouTube, do you have to stick to a certain genre, or could you stick to making the same thing? You know, there's no right or wrong answer, but I will say that for most creators, if you do stick to a certain niche, you tend to grow faster, and it's easier to build an audience around what it is that you're doing. Renee Ritchie is in here. There he is, this gentleman right here. I mean, he's the best in the business when it comes to reviewing anything Apple. If it's Apple related, tech Apple related, like he's the best arguably the best in the world as far as I'm concerned. He's amazing at what he does. And what makes him amazing is that he's carved out this niche for himself. But if on his channel, if he did other things like, hey, here's a bunch of, I'm talking about the latest Apple releases, and then tomorrow he uploads a video on how to clean a carburetor, and then the day after that, he's like, how to make homemade apple pie, people are gonna be like, wait a minute, I subscribe to your channel because I love your commentary and your Apple content. It's so thoughtful. Why are you showing me how to clean a carburetor? I didn't sign up for this, and it would slow his growth. But because he's streamlined his channel and everything he's built an entire community around people who want to hear exactly what it is he's talking about. He's been able to grow a channel at lightning speed. He's great, and he had the community and all that stuff, but there's something to be said about niching down. That said, some channels can get away with not niching down. It's just, generally speaking, you're going to grow a lot slower if you don't focus on something. Hey, Andrew, how you doing, my man? Renee is my go-to guy for Apple info. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolute king. Yeah, absolutely. We were once on a beach in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, walking along, and a huge sign says Playa or something like that. And I'm like, what does it mean? And we just passed a naked lady in her 70s. Yeah, so, probably hanging to her knees and all that stuff. I can only imagine. Yeah, that's the thing with beaches, right? Countries that allow nude beaches and stuff. Interesting stuff. Affiliate revenue can be great, especially early on if you use products. Yeah, the right affiliate stuff can be great. And here's the thing. It doesn't have to just be merch or affiliate stuff. Like, could you sell an ebook? Or could you give an ebook away or give a product away and collect their email in order to get it? And then you build an email list and you try to sell stuff through your email list. There's lots of different ways to do this. There's not one right or wrong answer. There's all the answers. You can do all this stuff because based on the content that you make, you might find it's easier to do one thing than another. So you're going to have to figure out different ways to monetize your platform there. We got D tourist cards. Yeah, I don't remember who exactly turned me on to the Canadian travel agent, but per usual, they were awesome. They were just amazing. That's right. You guys got me Cuban tourist cards. That was crazy. I think if I remember right, I think we used to have to send them, what was it? I think we used to have to mail them money orders. They didn't take checks. I think we had to send them a money order. We would mail them the money order. They would get it, and then they would send us back the tourist card. Crazy, man. Those were the days. Those were the days. Swinger resorts for golfers. Now there's a niche. Your biggest defining moment in your YouTube journey. My biggest defining moment was speaking on stage, the big stage at Vid Summit with my brother. That was pretty much I can't imagine it being like, that was just the raddest thing ever, right? Like we're first time ever public speaking. Daryl trusted us to put us on the big stage, first time ever speaking, but he trusted we would pull it off. So having the acceptance and the trust of Daryl and the Vid Summit staff to put us on the big stage, that was huge. That was just like, okay, I'm doing the right stuff. I've done the right things to be on here on the big stage, the main stage. That was the same stage that like Casey Neistat and Peter McKinnon and Pat Flynn and everybody else was on. So it was humbling and honored, and I was honored and humbled to be trusted enough to go on the main stage. But to do it with my brother, man, that was just the coolest thing ever. So I would say that's a defining moment for me. That was just like the coolest thing ever.
Super chat.
I can't think of anything cooler than that. Like when I think through like what could top that, I can't think of anything. Like I never opened my play button. Nick has my play button. They shipped that to Thailand, so play button's cool, but that's not a defining moment. But like being on the big stage at Vid Summit with my brother, being put on the big stage, like that was equally as important to me as being trusted by Daryl Eves himself to go on that stage. That meant a lot. And to be standing in front of our peers and people we respected and the community, the Nimminati and everybody who was there. Like, I mean, that was just such an amazing experience all the way around. All the way around. Okay, how to gain more watch time. Is it that we need to upload every video at the same time that we uploaded before? Nope, that won't do it. What will the minimum length of cooking video to gain more watch time? Okay, so here's the thing. This is a great question. Make your videos as long as they need to be. If you make a video and hey, this video it's a 3-minute video, make the video. If it needs to be a 20-minute video, make it a 20-minute video. Don't stretch out your video for the sake of trying to get watch time. Okay. The best thing you can do to get watch time is just to continue to upload consistently, right? If you're a cooking channel, pay attention to the videos that have done well on your channel and try to do more like them. So let's say, I'm going to take a guess that you're in India. So let's just say you're teaching people how to cook Indian food. So let's say you make a video on how to cook dum aloo, right? Easiest way to cook dum aloo, okay? When that video is over, at the end, you've got an end screen, okay? You also have the ability to add a card. You also have the ability to add links in your comments and a pinned comment, right? I want you to take the next logical video. So if someone's watching a video on how to cook dum aloo, so what would be another dish that could complement dum aloo, right? And then make that video and put that in your card, put that in your end screen, put that link in your description, put that link in your pinned comment. And in your description and your pinned comment, tell them what that is. Watch next how to make XYZ, whatever that dish is. Do that with all of your videos because the easiest way to get watch time is to get people to watch a second video, or sometimes even a third video. So think about making your videos in a way where it's kind of like a series where they watch one video and then you show them the next video to watch and they go watch that video. You could also try live streaming. Live streaming racks up the watch time as well. So you could do a live stream how to cook, or you could do a Q&A with your community. So get them to watch other videos, right? Strategically, or go live. It's a great way to get more watch time. Let me see. Cool stuff, D. Sounds more about how you can influence others than personal accolades. Says a lot about you and your persona. Thank you. I guess that's, yeah. Well, you know, it was, the whole thing was just cool, you know, like, yeah, it's hard to put into words. It was just, I mean, it's an honor to be asked. I gotta phrase this right. Okay. So for speaking events, a lot of times, you know, sometimes people will reach out to you. Sometimes you have to submit. So, you know, the first thing was to have, you know, Daryl contact me like, hey, do you want to speak? It'd be great to have you speak at the event. Like, that was humbling within itself. You know, I'd only been on YouTube for like 2.5 years at that time. So it was like, wow, you know, like I'm being asked to speak at like the main YouTuber event. So that was an honor and very humbling. But then to go on the big stage was like another thing. And then to be able to do it with my brother, it was just, I can't think of anything better. I really can't.
Super chat.
Thank you so much, man. This is you and Daniel reviewed my channel 6 months ago. Yesterday, I hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. Congratulations. I'm glad all of that worked out for you. That's amazing. Like I said before, to the other person who asked, don't put all your eggs in the partner program basket. Try to find other ways to monetize your channel. I can't stress that enough, and congratulations. A pinned comment, link to another video I learned from Nick and D's a game changer. Yeah, I mean, you know, on one video, it's not that big of a deal, but like when you do that across your entire content library, man, you can really rack up a lot of views as your channel grows and builds momentum. What's the best recorder for low-end Android devices? That's hard to say because I don't know what your operating system is. I don't know which Android you're running, but I always like to go with Mobizen is the one that I always go to, but I don't know if it will run on your device. I don't know how old it is. But Mobizen is the AZ screen recorder or Mobizen, but I don't know if it will work with your device. I know they only work up to a certain point. Content speaks. There's not hacks to get performance. Good old satisfying audience equals success. Spot on, man. Aussie guy. Hey, how you doing, man? I imagine hearing from all the people you've helped to change their lives must feel awesome too. Yeah, Renee, man, that's a good point. And that's like a different thing, right? Like it's different to like when I look at doing YouTube and you know, like you've come from your background too, you left your job and you did your own thing. So you've been on this journey as well, right? For me, if I look at YouTube and what I've done on YouTube is like a graph. When I look at it as a graph, I get these spikes, right? Like if you look at a graph, almost like a watch time where like people might rewind or spike to something, you get this short little spike. Like anytime I get a message from somebody, it's like, hey, you know, you helped me do this, or you inspired. The best is you inspired me to start a YouTube channel a year and a half ago or whatever. I just did my first brand deal, or I've been able to quit my job and go to YouTube full time. Like that's a spike, right? That's a big spike. And those are like the motivation pushes that like keep you going, right? Those are anytime I'm questioning, like, am I even doing the right thing? Those are the moments. So I get those emails or whatever. It's like, hey, you helped me do this. And now I'm doing this. I'm like, okay, I'm on the right path. So that's a different kind of, measure of success, I guess. But yeah, those feel amazing. That's a different feeling though. That's a different feeling than like speaking with my brother at Bit Summit. Those are two, for me anyway, those are two totally different experiences with both of them being amazing. One, I never thought I would do this. And then on the other hand, like I never thought that I'd be making YouTube videos that would inspire people to make YouTube videos with their iPhone or their Android, which later would turn to them building a channel, building a brand, getting brand deals, being able to quit their job, being able to support their family, all because they watched a couple of my videos. Like I can't even wrap my head. Here's a better way to say it. Even though those propel me forward and they inspire me and they keep me going, it's still difficult for me to wrap my head around that. It's difficult for me to wrap my head around I did something that changed the trajectory of this person's life. I can't wrap my head around that. So because of that, it's hard for me to quantify that or make sense of it even. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing to put into words, man. I always struggle for words. I'm not the guy you come to for words. I'm not that guy. Oh, man. Here we go.
Super chat.
Thank you, Andrew. We learned to create an online blog as sort of a branch out to our YouTube channel. It has some amazing insight about other ways to use our channel and content outside of YouTube at recent conference. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, there's so many different ways to do this. If you've got a blog and you're getting external traffic coming in, once you have a piece of content, there's just so many things that you can do with it. So I'm glad that you're finding other ways. You totally get it. Yeah, so one of my favorite movies is Contact with Jodie Foster. It's an older movie, right, with Matthew McConaughey and Jodie Foster. And I love the part where she finally goes through she falls through the thing and goes through the wormhole or whatever that is and ends up on the beach. And it was so beautiful. And she's like, they should have sent a poet, right? Like she didn't have the words to describe. They should have sent a poet. I think like that a lot. Like, somebody asked me, hey, what do you think about this? I'm terrible at trying to articulate the feelings that I have regarding YouTube and all of this stuff. It's difficult for me to the whole thing is weird. The whole thing is just weird. Should have sent a poet. Like that's all I can tell you. They should have sent a poet. I just watched it a couple weeks ago. So good. Yes. And I love Interstellar. I think Interstellar is probably, and that's got to be in my top 3. Got to be in my top 3 movies of all time. And one of the best soundtracks ever. I love it. Should have sent a poet. That's going to be my reply to you all the time, Renee. What do you think about this? Should have sent a poet. That's right. Smash the thumbs up if you haven't already. Let me see. Right, I think I can only go back so far. Renee is a modern day poet. Yep, I love it. That's such a great movie. Such a great movie. Interstellar is great. Yeah, it is. The whole, the bookshelf thing at the end. Don't leave me, Murph. Like that whole thing is weird, but like just a fantastic movie. And the soundtrack is amazing. If you're into movie soundtracks, if you're into Hans Zimmer, Interstellar is fantastic. And you know what else is really good is the soundtrack to Ad Astra with Brad Pitt in it. The score on Ad Astra is amazing. Save nothing for the swim back. Yes. I love it, man. The whole thing is weird. Yeah, it is. It is. And Pete, man, you're in the same boat where you're instructing people, right? Like an education channel. You're teaching people how to start their music career or to start their hobby using iOS devices. And those people are ending up like making music and creating stuff all because you taught them how. That's a mind job. That's hard for me to wrap my head around. Hans Zimmer's amazing. Yes. I'm considering buying an older refurbished iPhone just to use for iPhone videos. How far back can I go to get a great video from iPhone 7 to 11? Okay, so I've got a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I would say this, because the 13 just came out, and Renee can probably tell you, I don't know what the prices are on the 11, but if you can get the 11, I think that's a fantastic deal for an iPhone. And if you use, so with the 11, they have a camera option in there. It's 0.5, which gives you like a widescreen option. So if you're doing any sort of vlogging or you're walking around, like if you're in your garden, for example, and you put it on 0.5, there's a little bit of image stabilization that comes with that, which helps take away from some of the shake. But I still got the 11. I haven't upgraded to the 12 or the 13. Because I love it. I think the camera on the 11 is better. And since they did just come out with the 13, I bet you can get a really good deal on the 11. So I would say if you could swing the 11, I would go with the 11. Here it is. I knew Renee was going to come in on that. 11 is a good deal starting at $499. There you go. I would go for that. I love my 11. I'm probably going to hold out to the 14. I'll probably upgrade on the 14. I might pick up a 13 mini just to have it, just to experiment with it. But I'll probably hold out on getting another Pro, wait until the 14. I'm not one of those people who buy a phone every year. I'll hold on to something until I have a valid reason to upgrade. But if you're putting the camera on a tripod, I would say the 10 is just the 10X. I think that's a good phone too. I actually have one of those as well as a backup. Those could probably be even cheaper. I would say I wouldn't go any lower than that though. But if that wasn't in your budget, maybe the 8. So I would say I've got a 7, 8, 10. I said 9 before. I don't. There's no that. I've got a 7, 8, 10, and 11. That's what I've got. There's no 9. The 8 is a good. The 8 is a good phone. I actually carried a 7 for quite some time until I got to 10. But I also have an 8 now too. They're good. They're good phones. But I would try 11, no further back than 10 if possible. 13 can do ProRes, but even fewer really need that for an iPhone. Yeah, that's the thing, you know, like, okay, if I were a mobile filmmaker, not a YouTuber, but a mobile filmmaker, I would get the 13. I would get the 13 for ProRes. But even then you could argue if that's even necessary, right? But just for doing stuff on YouTube or just casually shooting stuff for memory's sake or whatever, the price doesn't make sense. The price doesn't make sense. And because I'm not in the US and I don't know how it is in the rest of the world, but as someone who lives outside of the US, specifically someone stuck in Mexico, I don't have a plan. I can't trade my phone in. You can trade it in for Apple where they give you a little bit, but I don't want to do that. So I don't have like a payment plan where like, oh, just, you know, keep your payment plan going and pay $100 and get the new phone. I don't have that. I actually have to pay outright for it. And I can't justify spending, you know, $1,500 on a new phone to not have that a good reason to do so. Exchange rates are terrible. Yeah, absolutely. My son is into all the bells and whistles. He's the IT director with Roland. Well, that makes total sense. Well, some people are into that. Some people love all the bells and whistles. A lot of tech people are into all that stuff. I'm just not one of those things. Any tips for getting the top comment? Yeah, the top comment. I mean, that's not something that's going to change your channel. Here's the thing. If you're focusing on how to get the top comment on somebody else's channel, you're focusing on all the wrong things. You need to learn how to attract the right target audience for the content that you're making. The time that you're wasting trying to get the top comment, that's a complete waste of time. Yeah, you might be able to get a couple people to come over and subscribe to it, but it's a total waste of time. Focus on your content. Focus on learning how to connect with your target audience. Figure out what type of content you want to make. Figure out who the viewer is that might want to watch that content, and then focus on learning how to communicate with that viewer through things like choosing the right topics, writing the right titles, crafting the right thumbnail, editing the video to keep them watching. That's what you focus on. You focus on that. Focus on choosing the right topics. Focus on writing titles. Focus on making good thumbnails. Right? You focus on those things. You're not going to have to worry about anything else. Everything falls into place when you focus on the right things. Apple tree. Yeah, I don't know why I said 9 before. There's no 9. There's no spoon. There's no 9. Let's see. Go back here. Again, are there any ways to get your comment to the top? I see me able to hit. Yeah. No. You're focusing on the wrong stuff. If you've got a YouTube channel, you're trying to grow your channel, you are wasting your time trying to get a top comment. Focus on your content, the content. Focus on the audience. Focus on making videos that the audience wants to watch. Nothing else matters. When you do that, everything falls into place.
Super chat.
Thank you so much. What criteria would we need to fulfill in YouTube channel or eligibility to get stories, and what criteria for getting join buttons or rendering or export option needed to upload better video experience? Yeah, Doug, do you know what? I think stories are 10,000 subscribers. So Doug, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think stories are at 10,000. Correct me if I'm wrong. They just lowered community tab to 500 subscribers. And What criteria for getting the join button? I'm not sure what you mean with it by the join button. And what rendering or export option do I need to upload better video experience? Okay, so in terms of rendering your video, I don't know what you're making your videos in, but whatever options you have to have the highest quality. The minimum I would upload, if possible, is 1080p. If you can't do 4K, that's fine. I shoot in 4K, I render out in 1080p, and I upload in 1080p. Just because the upload speeds usually aren't the best. But I would say if you can shoot and render out in at least 1080p, I would say that would be the minimum. And whatever bitrate settings you have, just crank that up as high as it can go. If you're doing it on your phone or your computer, you're going to find out which one of those will max your system out. So let's say you're using KineMaster, for example, you're using their highest setting. If your phone can't handle it, if it overheats or whatever, then just dial it down until your phone can't handle it. So crank up your settings as high as you can until your system can't handle that anymore. But yeah, I need to know, memberships. Yeah, so gaming channels, I think they roll out the memberships much lower, but since you have a food channel, I know originally they rolled those out at around 30,000 and it was still in beta testing. I don't know where they're at now. Doug might know where it's at right now. Yeah, I think stories are 10K. Memberships now are 1K. So there you go. They started at 30,000 and it got lowered down to 1,000 once you're monetized. Thank you, Doug. You see, I don't pay attention to that stuff. I should. Right, exactly. You have to be in the YouTube Partner Program in order to get memberships, which means you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. Then you apply to become part of the Partner Program. Even if you do 1080p, you can export in 1440p. Yes, that is correct. You can do that. Do you use any programs or systems to stay organized with workflow and making a video? That's a great question. So I've got two tools that I use to organize everything. One, I use Notion. I do a lot of organizing and planning in Notion, and I also use Google Keep for just random notes. So I might start something in Keep, kind of rough notes, and then as I kind of hash that out, then I move it over to Notion, and then I start building out more of a plan that way. YouTube loves to roll slow features. I'm still waiting. Yeah, the problem with me keeping up with everything like that is like, because they always move things around. Like they start with memberships at 30,000, it's in beta, then they roll it down a little bit, then they give it to gamers at 1,000. Now it's at 1,000 for everybody if you're monetized. That's just hard to stay up with all that stuff. If they were just like, hey, it's 30,000, here it is. That's easy to remember. Right? And then they had the community feed, which is higher. Now they're dropping it down to 500. It's like, come on, guys, stick with it. Been meaning to check out Notion, still using Trello. Yeah, tomato, whatever works. Let's see here. So everyone needs a Doug. Yep, absolutely. Everyone needs a Doug. You need like I've got a red bat phone over here. It's just like the Doug line. Just call it up. Doug, what are the new requirements for this? Let me see. I think I got everybody. I think that's all the questions. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up with, we got another super chat. Hold on.
Super chat.
Best gimbal plus tripod for heavyweight mobile phones. So I would look at, if I was going to buy a tripod, I would probably go with the latest DJI model for their mobile gimbal. However, I would check the requirements and see, because I don't know what phone you have, and all of the gimbals have weight limitations on there. So I would look at the weight for your phone, plus think about the case if you are going to put the case on it, or you might have to take the case off, and then look at the gimbal. But I think DJI makes great ones. I had the Pocket one. That's not good for heavy phones. Who else makes a good one? Yeah, I would go with the DJI. I think they're up to Mobile 5 now. DJI Mobile 5 or DJI Mobile 6. I forget what number they are in right now. But I think that's a pretty good one. In terms of tripod, it depends. Do I have a... Like it depends. Like I've got these little travel tripods. Like it depends. Like, are you shooting in a studio? Do you want to travel with these? Are you taking them outside? Like there's a lot of variations there in terms of what you can do. But I will say this, most tripods will hold any heavy phone. That's what I would look at. Yeah, the Vlog Pocket. Yeah, the Vlog Pocket it's good for a lighter phone. I probably wouldn't recommend that for a heavier phone. The DJI Osmo 4. Yeah, so they've got the 5 now, I believe. The DJI, they've got the 5, I believe, with the iPhone 13 Pro Max, pretty snug, and to take off the rubber padding, but anything smaller would be great. Yes, I think they've got the 5 now. Oh, it just adds a selfie stick. Otherwise, go with the 4. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yeah, I've got the 3. I haven't, so I have the DJI 2 and I have the 3. I didn't get the 4, and I haven't looked at the 5. I just know that they released the 5. I haven't looked at it. Let's see. Yeah, but in terms of tripod, really anything can carry a phone. But the gimbal, you want to make sure, go to their websites. DJI makes great. The motors are strong in the gimbal. It's a quality gimbal. But make sure, because I don't know what mobile device you have, check the weight. Go to their website, check the weight requirements on that one. Right, the DJI 5 just came out last month. Yes, DJI 5, Osmo 5, Osmo Mobile. What is it? Is it the Osmo Mobile 5? Is that what it is? I don't remember. I can't keep up with that stuff. Super fun show, D. Mary Vin. Yeah, a lot of crazy topics. Okay, on that note, thank you everyone for hanging out. Awesome questions. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the thumbs up. This video will be available for live play when it finishes rendering. If you want to come back and ask a question as a comment, I'll be coming back and I'll answer your questions there. So have an awesome week, everybody. I will see you next week, next Sunday, same place, same time. Have an awesome week.